presentation of Capital One Bowl Week.
And let's start making memories 2013. Happy New Year, everyone, from Tampa, Florida. It's the 2013 Outback Bowl. We got a good one, folks. Number 10, South Carolina. An amazing blue of Michigan on a beautiful 75-degree sunshiny day here in West Florida. Happy New Year, everybody. Mike Tirico, my partner, John Gruden. Shannon Spake is with us. She's on the sideline. John, the career of Denard Robinson, one of the best individual careers in the long history of Michigan football, comes to an end. A bit of a different role at the end, but this is his final game today.
Well, Michigan's going to play two different quarterbacks today, but when Denard Robinson plays, you're going to see one of the most magnificent spread option quarterbacks the NC2A has ever seen. When he's in the game, Mike, Robinson's going to carry the football, and he's a threat to go to the house every time he does. Great leg strength and great finishing speed. But now in the last few weeks, I've seen him play running back. They're going to come out in a full house backfield. They'll hand it to Robertson on one of the Robinson on a speed sweep. He'll pitch the ball. You don't know what's going to happen. They're doing a lot of different things. And Devin Gardner, when I first saw him early in the year, he's playing wide receiver, catching touchdown passes against the Crimson Tide. He caught 4 touchdown passes. But now Gardner's the quarterback. And when he comes in the game, they run more of a traditional pro-style system, and he has guys that he can throw the ball to, like Roy Roundtree. I'm telling you this, though, Mike, I wouldn't want to be either one of these quarterbacks today because South Carolina has a guy running around. This scares me.
Yeah, leading this 10-2 Gamecock team that only lost to LSU in Florida. Perhaps the best individual player in all of college football, the sophomore defensive end, Jadeveon Clowney.
Been fun to watch Clowney all week. I think he's going to be the #1 pick in the NFL draft whenever he chooses to come out. Tremendous edge rusher. He can get off the ball, and there's not many people in college football that can handle him one-on-one. He sets it up with this great inside move, much like John Abraham, the ex-South Carolina Gamecock, now playing for the Falcons. He can go inside or out. He plays on both sides. And if you want to run one of these option plays, he'll tackle your quarterback, then he'll go get your back, and he'll come over to your house for New Year's Day dinner. Clowney is a beast, and he's on a mission today going up against a very good left tackle, Taylor Lewan of the Michigan Wolverines.
Yeah, here we are talking defense, and it's a Steve Spurrier team. But what else is new? We got a Steve Spurrier team. We had a question about the quarterback. For more on that and who's going to play today, here's Shannon Spade.
Well, Mike, what we do know about the South Carolina quarterback situation is that Connor Shaw, who started the majority of the regular season games, he will start here today. We also know that Dylan Thompson, who started 2 regular season games, including, of course, that season-ending victory against Clemson, he will play. What we don't know is when Thompson will come in and how much time he'll see on the field. I caught up with Spurrier during warm-ups. He told me it could happen during the first, at the end of the first, or at the beginning of the second quarter, but he's keeping his secrets to himself still.
As always, he returns to Tampa. Remember, Shannon, he was the coach of the Tampa Bay Bandits back in his USFL days. Chance for Steve Spurrier to get 11 wins at South Carolina back-to-back. That's never happened in the history of the school. He's set now the most victories in school history. On the opposite side, Brady Hoke in his second year. He replaced Rich Rodriguez, and Hoke, who was a part of the coaching staff when Lloyd Carr was the coach at Michigan, has really taken this Wolverine program, rebuilding it back in a direction Michigan fans are used to. 19-6 over his 2 years. Toss won by Michigan. Yes, the uniforms are a little different. The numbers are hard to find, but be patient. We'll work on it. South Carolina will receive the toss as Michigan deferred to the second half. Bruce Ellington is back deep to receive. Michigan and South Carolina, the Outback Bowl, and off we go. 2013 underway here in Tampa. Ellington from 2 deep will take it out. Across the 15, nice job for Ellington to get to the side. Across the 30, and escorted to the sideline for 35. Matt Wild, the kickoff man, was there to send him that way. So the junior, outside of Georgia, Flowery Branch is where Connor Shaw is from. Son of a coach, is a player who was hurt this year a couple of different times. One a shoulder and one a foot injury. They kept him out of the Clemson game. John, what's the thumbnail on the junior?
Well, Shaw is a heady player. He doesn't turn the football over. He's not a home run threat to run it, Mike, but he has the niftiness to continue to keep the chains moving. Watch out for some naked bootlegs. Spurrier loves to come out throwing early.
Miles is the back as South Carolina starts to drive the 33, and here is the senior Miles, twisted and turned, only a yard. Quentin Washington, defensive front from Michigan, makes the first play. Let's, John, look at the impact players for South Carolina today.
Well, wide receiver Bruce Ellington, their leading receiver, also an outstanding kick returner. You saw that already. And Jadeveon Clowney, I think the best player on defense in college football. 21 career sacks. Swearinger, second leading tackler. He's going to be an impact performer for the Gamecocks today on defense as well.
Two strong defenses meeting up today. Top 20 in the nation. Second down, it's Shaw's first pass. His first complete to Ace Sanders. Past the 40 and right near that first down mark. At the 43-yard line, Desmond Morgan, the Michigan linebacker, on the stop.
There's that guy, Ace Sanders, from right here in Manatee, Florida. Just comes down from your right side. He's going to sit down between zone defenders and face Connor Shaw. Good, accurate throw. Nice north and south finish. Not a lot of wasted motion from Ace Sanders after the catch. A prototype slot receiver. You'll see him later in this game return punts. Playmaker for the Gamecocks.
I want to let everybody know on the South Carolina side, number change. Demir Bird, who's been 3 all-year Gamecock fans, he's wearing 10 in the bowl game. Shaw climbing the pocket, taking a shot, downfield, breaking free. It's that man. It's Bird. It's touchdown, South Carolina, 56 yards.
Great call by you, Mike Tirico. You got a young, inexperienced Michigan Wolverine secondary, and when you play Steve Spurrier, he's going to take his shots on early downs in good field position. Just going to be a play-action pass, and you're going to see a full post at the top of your screen to Demir Bird, a man who can fly. He runs the corner down and just runs right by him, and the ball's thrown on the money by Connor Shaw. That's why Connor Shaw is the starting quarterback of the Gamecocks. He's a dual threat. He can run it, and he can throw it.
Michigan, many problems with their corners. Couple down from the start of the season. 3 plays, 67 yards. Bird the touchdown. Extra point added by the senior Adam Yates. Touchdown number 3 on the season for the former track star at South Carolina. Demir Bird with a 6 on the start. Connor Shaw and the Gamecocks up first on New Year's Day.
I'm Jeff Smith, president of Outback Steakhouse. Welcome to the Outback Bowl. Whether your team wins or loses today, everyone has something to cheer about tomorrow. A free appetizer with any purchase. If the Gamecocks win, it's a free bloomin' onion. And if the Wolverines win, it's free coconut shrimp. Enjoy the game, and we'll see you tomorrow at Outback Steakhouse, where tasting victory, or maybe swallowing pride, never tasted so good.
Visit WatchESPN.com or download the Watch ESPN app to watch ESPN live anytime, anywhere. Brought to you by Vizio.
Wherever you are, glad you're with us on this New Year's Day at Raymond James Stadium. 15 years old, this building. Home of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Home of the Gamecocks right now, 7-0. South Carolina with that quick strike, 1:34 into this game. Adam Yates will kick it. Dennis Norfleet and Drew Dillio back to receive from Michigan. Just a brief hint of wind, but a sunny 75-degree day, so weather's not going to be too much of a factor. Norfleet will take a knee, and Michigan will take over at its own 20-yard line. Pushing and shoving as the players come down the field. Special teams guys all fired up. And the Big East officiating crew in there to separate them. And the drive starts at 25 as Devin Gardner and Denard Robinson will be the focal points of the Michigan offense here. All right, let's get these guys back to their sideline. There we go. We'll see Gardner mostly at quarterback. As a matter of fact, to start the game, it'll be just Gardner coming out without Robinson. Robinson will be in a variety of roles during the day.
And these Gamecocks on defense, they're going to communicate carefully together based on who that quarterback is. Keep an eye on the communication of the Carolina defense as Robinson and Gardner come and go at quarterback.
The junior playing at Inkster High School from Detroit. Wolverines quarterback for this bowl game, the last 3 games. and likely next year as well. First pass, first catch. Dilio across the 35 to the 36-yard line. John, this is where Al just wants the offense to go. More of a pro style, and Gardner going no huddle here early.
He can do a lot of things. He's caught 4 touchdown passes. He's thrown 8, and he's run for 7. He's got a good head on his shoulders, too. They like him a lot.
Senior Vincent Smith is next to him. And it's a quick slant throw, and it's behind Roy Roundtree, the intended receiver. Devin Taylor, the defensive end, may have deflected it.
Well, Roundtree, an experienced 5th-year senior, running a slant pattern. And that South Carolina secondary, they read the quick game as well as any group in college football. That time, Victor Hampton jumped the pattern. Ball's got to be thrown better.
Second and 10, 3 throws for Gardner. This time he'll look to take off and run, and it's different kind of speed. Ball pulled out, but recovered by Michigan. So Devontae Holloman, one of 3 very good senior linebackers, pulled it out from Gardner, but the Wolverines back on it.
I've been telling you that Holman, number 21, has stood out on every tape I've seen this week. Watch number 21 break down, wrap up Gardner, and then strip the ball. That's an NFL tactic right there. Make the tackle, and when that quarterback exposes the ball, rip it out of his chest. This Gamecock defense can really generate turnovers. A lot of athleticism and experience in that linebacking core.
Watch out for number 7, Jadeveon Clowney, game changer, standing up on that D-line as Gardner rolls right, has to put it up for grabs, and it's intercepted. It was like a punt, and Jimmy Legree, the nickelback, has it, and South Carolina has it as Michigan turns it over on the first drive.
Couldn't have been a worse start for Michigan. Bad decision, and head coach Brady Hoke has got to weather the early storm that just blew in here from Columbia.
Gardner intercepted 4 times in the regular season, making 5 now. It's the 3rd pick for the South Carolina native. The junior Jimmy Legree gets the ball back for the Gamecocks.
ESPN College Football, the Outback Bowl, is brought to you by the Capital One Cash Rewards Card with a 50% annual bonus. The 2013 Ford Super Duty, built Ford tough. And Aflac, official partner of the Heisman Trophy.
Busch Gardens, one of the annual stops for the players competing in the Outback Bowl. This is a tremendous bowl game, 27th playing here at the Outback Bowl. It's the 20th year we have the SEC against the Big Ten. 11-8 advantage SEC. Right now advantage SEC. South Carolina with the touchdown and the turnover by Michigan. Taking over its own 31-yard line. And Connor Shaw will pull it out and throw it. That's Nick Jones, who's also changed his number for this game. Just to gain him a yard, here's Shannon Spake.
Well, Mike, as you can imagine, South Carolina, they are fired up here on the sideline. Steve Spurrier even getting in on the action. He came over, he shook Connor Shaw's hand after that first possession, high-fived all the receivers. Definitely off to an ideal start.
Well, Shannon, you were telling us Steve was very excited about playing against Michigan for the very first time in his career. He's done so much. The former Heisman winner, national champion coach at Florida. First time against the winningest program in college football history. Swing it out to the back. This is Kenny Miles. Michigan rallies to the ball. Just a gain of about 2 yards. And Jake Ryan, the top linebacker for the Maize and Blue, made the play.
Well, 3-man rush that time by the Michigan Wolverines. They're playing zone coverage. Their defenders keep vision on the football. And Jake Ryan, the most productive defender the Wolverines have. Look for Greg Madison to move him around today and try to get him in position to rush the passer against one of the weak links on his Carolina offensive line.
South Carolina empties the backfield, trips 3 receivers to the right. 3-man rush of Michigan. Time down the middle of the throw is short and incomplete. Trying to get it into Nick Jones. He was sliding towards the middle of the field, but a 3-and-out forced by the Michigan defense.
An important stop by the Wolverines. That time Steve Spurrier comes out with a no-back set. They streak 3 Gamecocks right down the seam. Just missed Jones on a deep ball. These Gamecocks, these receivers are changing numbers on us, Mike. The day before the game, that'd be some kind of rule against that.
Tyler Hull is the punter for South Carolina. And a fair catch taken at the 29-yard line by Jeremy Gowan of Michigan. See if we see Denard Robinson touch the ball when you come back. Well, Capital One Bowl Week, including the Outback Bowl here in Tampa, live anytime, anywhere, your computer, your tablet, your smartphone. Watch ESPN.com, watch ESPN app. Your participating providers, check with them, the people you pay your bill to. They'll help you find out if you can watch ESPN. So Michigan went 3 and out, 3 and a turnover, truly, John, after picking up 1 first down on that last drive. No Denard Robinson there, and still no Robinson, as the senior remains on the sideline. Devin Gardner in at quarterback. Vincent Smith is the running back for Michigan. And on first down, it'll be a throw, and the defensive back slipped to the completion of the 42-yard line. Just like the last drive, a first down on the first play for Michigan.
Well, here comes Robinson at quarterback. But watch the ISO matchup. Clowney versus number 77, Taylor Lewan. This is the matchup every pro scout is looking at. Lewan's got a chance to make a lot of money today as he considers coming out in the NFL draft. That was a nice effort.
15-yard reception by Gallen. Robinson touches for the first time, and there goes Denard Robinson. He touches the ball, and you can hear the Michigan fans that are here. The crescendo of anticipatory cheers rise, and Robinson brings them to their feet, gain of 15.
Right guard, Omamai pulls. He leads it up in the hole. It's an old-fashioned Michigan power play, and Denard Robinson says, what are you waiting for? Put me in the game. Let me impact our offense. Flashy playmaker, almost 1,200 yards rushing. He can do it from tailback or quarterback.
He remains in the game as the tailback behind Gardner. And Devin will have to make something happen. Lobbing it up in traffic. Is that pulled down? Gallen went up and he pulled it away. What a catch by the junior, 5'8", Jeremy Gallen up the ladder.
And Augusti that left the corner, number 3, can't believe it. Jeremy Gallen is not the biggest receiver in college football, but man, he made a big play right there. Going up, elevating, showed great hang time. Apopka, Florida. I know a couple guys from down the road in Apopka. Big play by Jeremy Gallen.
A poor decision on that throw. It was just up for grabs. The quarterback was bailed out by his receiver. Michigan in the red zone. And on the road, trying to throw back and set up the screen. Vincent Smith inside the 10. Flag is down as he's down at the 9-yard line.
When Vincent Smith is in the game, you have to be alert for screens. That time it's a design sprint out throwback screen. And I think we're going to get an illegal block by the Wolverines.
Personal foul. Face mask. Offense number 77. 15-yard penalty. First down.
And Taylor Lewan, the tackle you're talking about, picks up the major foul.
Well, it's going to be a sprint out to your right. You're going to see the left tackle, number 77, Lewan, involved in a face mask penalty right there. Good call by the official. Excellent design, though, by this Michigan offense. Al Borges, Mike, as good as offensive coordinator as I've seen in college football, has a lot of different styles of offense in every game plan. Critical penalty on Lewan.
Clear correct call as he pulled down Augusti. It's 1st and 16 because of where the foul occurred. Denard Robinson back in the game, got in his hands again. He'll gain a couple of yards. Let's just go back over the Denard Robinson story. As you know, he was the starting quarterback for Michigan. Came in the Rich Rodriguez era. The way they were going offensively, ended up winning the job that freshman year over Tate Forcier. And then Robinson just took off. Amazing numbers, especially in the first half of the season. Was the starting quarterback this year, got hurt against Nebraska, a nerve injury, he couldn't throw the ball, so he came in the last 2 games, Iowa and Ohio State, and he did not throw it at all. Instead, he was a runner, so taking some direct snaps. Can throw the ball in this game. Justice Hayes is the running back here on 2nd and 13. Gardner got away from one man, throws it back, and it's incomplete. Trying to get it back across the field to Roundtree, and Auguste was there on coverage.
South Carolina has about 3 or 4 men in their front. Number 98, Devin Taylor, 6'8", beats a block. There's Kelsey Quarles, number 99. You walk through the hotel at Gamecock Land, and it looks like the Miami Heat are staying there. They're all 6'5" or better. Clowney, Devin Taylor, Kelsey Quarles. Great looking group of Gamecocks in this front four.
Third and 13 for Gardner. Put it up towards the corner of the end zone. Incomplete. It was Auguste again in coverage as he tried to get it out to Joe Reynolds.
Pass protection. Watch the bull rush by Clowney. He's going to go after Luan. 4-point stance. He's going to tee off on the left tackle. Good anchor strength and good fight to finish by Taylor Luan. That's twice I've ISO'd these two, Mike. Taylor Luan standing his own so far against the great Clowney.
Field goal time for Michigan. John, 39-yard attempt. Brandon Gibbons, place kicker from West Palm Beach down here in Florida. Able to knock it through. So Michigan gets some points out of its second drive. Brady Hoke's team on the board halfway through the first quarter of the 2013 Outback Bowl. On this New Year's Day, our aerial coverage. The Outback Bowl provided by the MetLife Blimp. Start building your personal safety net with MetLife today. MetLife. I can do this. How was your commute over? Make it?
About 6 miles.
Home game.
Great to be home in Tampa.
It's great to have this bowl game on our schedule again. Third year we've had the pleasure of doing the Outback Bowl. Boy, year after year, the teams who come here really enjoy their experience. Georgia, Michigan State last year. Staying true with the Wolverines in South Carolina. Great week. Jim McVay, the president, CEO of this bowl. As good a job as anyone in that job in the country. Halfway through the quarter, 7-3. Gamecocks on top. And a couple of yards out. Auguste, good move to 30. Brought that to the 33-yard line. Winston Smith, running back, coming over to make the tackle for Michigan. John, here comes the Michigan defense you referenced earlier. It's a Wolverine defense that is coordinated by Greg Madison, former NFL defensive coordinator. And really deception over star players is the reason this defense has been good this year.
Yeah, Greg Madison, vast experience. Everything he stands for as a coach. He's the kind of guy you'd want your son to play for. They're multiple. They can play a 4-man line. They can get into a 3-man line. Remember, Madison was the defensive coordinator of the Baltimore Ravens. He's got a lot of different things he can get to in his playbook, and he's had plenty of time to prepare.
Michigan defense that was 11th in yards given up in the country, 26th in points per game. First down throw by Shawna Sanders, complete to the near side to the 38-yard line. He's pulled down by Courtney Avery, the corner. John, this was a defense that struggled, and when Rich Rodriguez was the Michigan head coach, Greg Robinson was the defensive coordinator then. In the 2 years here, Madison's flipped the numbers significantly.
And a lot of that has to do with the effort that these young Wolverines play with. There's one thing you have to do if you play for Greg Madison. Find the guy with the ball and get there. It all starts there, but they also are eager to be trained, and they're recruiting some good defenders here as well.
The future of this defense in terms of personnel is what's brightest. Kenny Miles trying to lead the way, get back to the line of scrimmage, but another terrific play off the defensive front. Brennan Byer on the tackle along with Andre Pipkins, big nose man, who's one of those young freshmen.
Well, they rotate so many players here. Pipkins is a freshman they're very excited about, 340-pound defensive tackle. They're going to play 7 or 8 different defensive linemen. They rotate their inside linebackers. They're going to get a good look at some young defenders in this year's Outback Bowl.
They need to get to the 44 to keep the drive alive. Michigan rotates its secondary as Shaw swings it out towards Miles. Trying to get to the chain, not going to get there. Kenny Miles going to be short of the first down. Thomas Gordon over from his free safety spot out of Cass Tech in Detroit.
You know, when you talk about the effort that the Wolverines play with. Look at number 47, 30, Gordon. That's excellent defense by this Michigan Wolverine outfit. And Jake Ryan, he's the ringleader. Outstanding football player. Has a couple years left in Ann Arbor. St. Ignatius High School in Ohio. I know exactly what kind of stock he comes from. Football's important to him.
Yeah, great players over the year there. Tyler Hull with the punt. Dilio will catch it at the 8. Dilio made a man miss and got back to the 19-yard line. Michigan will take over there. We say Happy New Year to Robert Flores in the studio.
Happy New Year, Mike. Check out what happened between Georgia and Nebraska, Capital One Bowl. Georgia's leading 9-0, but it could be 14-0. They block a punt, and they've got like 13 guys there to try to recover it. But it squirts free, and it's a safety. I mean, there's only 11 on the field, but you hear where I'm going with it.
I got you, Robert. Thank you. Yeah, Dogs couldn't fall on it. Couldn't take that 2-touchdown lead. Georgia beating Nebraska there. SEC against the Big Ten. A couple of different places. Right now, Northwestern leading Mississippi State 13-10. Halftime of the TaxSlayer.com Gator Bowl. That's over on ESPN2. On first down, it's a give. Robinson slips and falls as Denard is stopped for no gain.
Well, they're going to read the defensive end. It's that old power read you see all over college football. They're not even going to block the right defensive end. They're going to read him. And if he closes, they're going to hand the football off on the jet sweep. It's well read. But South Carolina looks like they've taken advantage of their bowl preparation. They know that's the #1 shotgun run in the Michigan offense.
Robinson out. Vincent Smith in for the Wolverines. It's a pass for Gardner. Stepping up. In trouble. Going down. Sacked back at the 5. He walked into one from Aldrich Fordham, who made the sack.
Well, it all starts with Devontae Holloman, the senior, 3-year starter. He beats the tight end bad in pass protection. Lorenzo Ward, the defensive coordinator of the Gamecocks, is coming after these young Wolverine quarterbacks with field blitzes, and Michigan can't handle them. Good cleanup by Fordham. Be very careful in long yardage situations against the Gamecocks. They live for these pass rush opportunities.
And they'll just hand it off inside, limit the damage. But a flag comes in as Vincent Smith was brought down. Devin Taylor. The face mask is the initial signal from the line judge, Kevin Cody.
Personal foul. Face mask. Offense number 52. Has declined. 4th down.
That's Ricky Barnum. It's 2 offensive face masks in this first quarter.
Well, left guard Ricky Barnum. No question, he's up in the cage of Fordham. Good call by the official. And with Ace Sanders back here deep to receive this punt. Mike, I've seen him do it to Missouri and Georgia. Special punt returner.
And John, Will Hagerup, the regular Michigan punter, the best in the Big Ten this year, suspended for this Outback Bowl. Sophomore Matt Weil has punted, but obviously he's not as good. Hang time McKee, and this is a nice one. 53 yards, sending Sanders back to the 38. Sanders in space. There goes Ace Sanders. Got the punter to beat. Going toward the pylon. Will he get there? Yes! Ace is dealing on New Year's Day. Touchdown, South Carolina.
I hate to say I told you so, Mike, but when you have a young punter punting in a backed-up situation against one of the most feared punt returners in all of college football, you better be real careful. And Ace Sanders does to Michigan what he's done to everybody I've studied this year. He rips them. Incredible stop-and-start quickness. The Wolverines got to be real careful with this Gamecock speed.
Adam Yates on for the extra point. And we talked about, you see, okay, you have backup punter in there. What does it mean? But backed up, such an important kick. The hang time was decent, but Sanders had plenty of room to work with.
Well, he gets plenty of room, Mike, because they hold up the gunners on the outside. And if you give Ace Sanders too much room to maneuver, he'll make you pay. Fun to watch. Watch his real speed. This is hard to imagine tackling this kid in the open field. Right here from Bradenton, Manatee, right down the street, there's no question. He's got a lot of his family members here celebrating the new year. That's a way to do it, Ace. I like that name, too. Ace Sanders. You'll see him on Sunday.
Just a junior, set the school record for punt return yardage this year. Averaged 14.5 per return. Third in the country. Johnson, third time in his career he's taken one back for a touchdown. Got the Dogs earlier this year.
You have to credit Steve Spurrier, this coaching staff, what they've done at South Carolina, Mike. They're after an 11-win season in back-to-back seasons. I don't think it's ever been done in South Carolina football history, but there are a number of outstanding young football players down on that Gamecock sideline. You got to credit Steve Spurrier and his staff.
What they have built after Lou Holtz was at South Carolina. Steve Spurrier has come in after a couple of years for the Redskins, then a year out. So the Snowflake just let it go. It's a touchback for Adam Yates. He's had 33 of those this year. Well, as soon as we are done, the Rose Bowl game presented by Vizio right here on ESPN. There's nothing like New Year's Day in that setting. Beautiful grass field, the sun setting over the Oreo Seco. What a great scene it is. And then Wisconsin and Stanford will match the red color of the roses from the parade this morning. The Grandadio Mall. Wisconsin-Stanford coming up right after we're done here on ESPN.
I like that job Barry Alvarez has. I'll just come out of retirement and coach the Rose Bowl. You guys coach the regular season games, the spring games, and all the practices. I'm just going to coach the Rose Bowl.
That's how we can get you back, right?
That's a great job he has.
Michigan down 11, taking over at their own 25. Little Statue of Liberty look as Gardner gives it to Robinson, and Denard for the second time trying to make a cut on this grass field, slips and falls.
How about the ball handling? You know, Gardner shows like he's going to throw a pass down the field, and watch the pirouette move by Denard Robinson on the old-fashioned Statue of Liberty play. But you see the team speed that South Carolina possesses. It's hard to fool a team that has awareness and great team speed.
Devontae Holloman, who made that big play earlier on, forced a fumble. And Devin Funchess of Michigan recovered. 2nd and 9 into the hands. Nice job of Robinson to make a man miss and get it out. Just a couple of yards shy of the first down. Hakeem Auguste made the tackle.
It's a designed block screen. They're trying every way they can. Statue of Liberty, block screens to get the ball to Denard Robinson. But watch number 21, Holloman, show up again from right to left and finish right there. That's the third impact tackle I've seen Devontae Holloman make today. He's going out in style.
Tremendous front seven. Defensive lineman and the 3 senior linebackers. 3rd and 2. High direct snap comes to Denard. He's got it, takes it, got a first down to the 40-yard line. So there's the first direct snap. And DeMario Jeffrey playing his final game for South Carolina, made the tackle.
That power read again. He's going to put the ball in his teammate's chest, and he's going to read the edge. Look how long he rides the back as he studies the Carolina defense, and he follows his fellow Wolverines right down the numbers for a big first down. Good decisive finish and good ball security by Denard Robinson, who's proven he can do a lot of things.
With no time to drop back pass for Michigan because that great South Carolina front from the 40 is back to the run game. And we're going to get a half yard there with Smith. Chaz Sutton made the tackle there. We have flag thrown late, 40 yards away from the play. Rory Roundtree of Michigan was downfield in a battle with Victor Hampton. And they're way up under the Wisconsin-Stanford logos there. That's where that stuff was going on, and the flag was thrown in the back.
Dead ball penalty. That's sportsmanlike contact. Taunting. Defense. Number 27. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Take a look at it. Hampton, number 27. And Jeremy Gallen going after it. This taunting, got to go. I see it before the games. I'm seeing it during the games. It's a waste of time, and Steve Spurrier's got Hampton on the sidelines. Got to control your emotions if you're going to be a big-time player.
Roundtree kept blocking. Hampton kept yapping. Cost him yards. Devin Gardner. Little time, but nobody's open. Buying space, throwing deep downfield. Robinson fell downfield. Pass incomplete, looking for a flag. It was not called. Augusti, who's been in the middle of everything in this first half. But, John, Robinson slipped again. It's the third time Denard's had an issue.
Yeah, I think it's a good no call. Michigan does an excellent job picking up the blitz. It allows Gardner time to throw it down the field, but Denard clearly slipped. Good no call by the officials.
We gotta get some cleats over there. A little thicker spike there. Longer spike. For Robinson. He comes in motion, takes the fake from Gardner, throws it back underneath. The big tight end takes it to the 41-yard line. This is a player of a lot of promise for Michigan. Devin Funchess, true freshman out of Farmington Hills Harrison High School.
They do an excellent job trying to slow this rush down. You're going to see Denard Robinson come underneath the quarterback. They're going to fake him the ball. And they're going to throw another throwback screen to Funchess, number 19, who's got a tremendous future. Funchess can run with the ball after he catches it. A rangy 6'4", 235-pound playmaker. Nice design by Al Borges and some of this perimeter offense.
Now 36. South Carolina's four-man rush is held up, and a good throw by Gardner. First down to Roy Roundtree here at the back end of the quarter. The fifth-year senior who had big numbers when Rich Rodriguez was here. The numbers have tailed off, but a gain of 16 to end the quarter.
This is what Al Borges does for you. He brings you an NFL-style pass offense. You see Funchess occupy the underneath coverage. It allows Roundtree to work into the second level. I like what Michigan can do, running the football with their option series, and they can throw it with anybody.
Plays by South Carolina. Big pass and a big punt return by Ace Sanders. 14-3 Gamecocks after one. On this New Year's Day, aerial views of Tampa made possible by MetLife. You know what's best for your family. MetLife has the tools to get you started. MetLife. I can do this. And St. Pete, Clearwater, 2.7 million around this beautiful area in West Florida as we begin the second quarter. Denard Robinson in conversation with the officials. Still trying to negotiate for that future flag down the line. Robinson only took one direct snap in that first quarter. His Michigan team trails 14-3. He takes the direct snap to start the second. There he goes around the right side. Off of one tackle inside the 20-yard line. Victor Hampton couldn't bring him down. And it's a gain, John, of about 8 yards on first down.
This looks like the Washington Redskins, the full house pistol backfield. But just take a look at Denard Robinson. Finish this run. He's not going to try to make you miss every time, Mike. He'll lower that left shoulder and take it to you physically. I tell you, a lot of people question what he's going to do at the next level. But if you like playmakers and real fast guys, you're going to like Denard Robinson.
Clowney comes over and makes contact with Luan. It's on
Offside.
Jadavian.
Defense, number 7. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Speaking of the Redskins, I mean, this full house pistol that Michigan runs, Washington Redskins are in the playoffs because of this formation. There's 1, 2, 3 backs and a quarterback in a pistol formation. You don't know if he's handing it off, if they're running a play action pass. Dallas couldn't figure it out. I can't figure it out. The world can't figure it out. You're going to see a lot of that full house backfield today for Michigan with Denard Robinson.
Now Robinson is alone as the back. It's a first down off the penalty. Fumbled the handoff, but got it back. Got down to the 8-yard line. John, it's interesting. The injury to Robinson is forced to find him this different role. Because it was a nerve injury, right arm, he couldn't throw. That, plus at the same time watching what Robert Griffin III could be helping Robinson's draft status as we look forward to April.
I think so. If you like playmakers, you're going to like Robinson. I think he could be a corner. I think he could be a slot receiver. And the beautiful thing is, he doesn't care where he plays. He just wants to get on the field and impact your team. He's a great kid. somebody will find a creative role for him.
Justice Hayes is now in at the back, and Hayes puts his head down and gets to the 5-yard line. Both teams in this Outback Bowl don't bring their best back here to the end of the season. Both serious, really gruesome-looking injuries. For Brady Hoke, it was Fitzgerald Toussaint, his star running back, hurt against Iowa. And for Steve Spurrier on the other side, it was Marcus Lattimore with his second significant leg injury. We'll talk about those guys as we get deeper in the game. But for both teams, it's running back by committee in this Outback Bowl. So you're seeing a lot of players just trying to fit specific roles here today. Vincent Smith, John told you he's the better pass catcher. He's in on 3rd and 3. Gardner's going to roll it and push it out to Dilio.
Oh, what a throw.
Touchdown, Michigan.
A design sprint out with Dilio in the flat, who went in counter return motion. And I have no idea how Devin Gardner got that ball off. Throwing it to his left, Mike. Sorry to interrupt you, but that was one of the most. Watch Dilio. He's going to counter return in his motion and speed to the flat. And watch how the ball is released. Just flicked. I wish I could do that. Devin Gardner shows you what kind of a special athlete he is. Michigan fans have to be excited about his future at quarterback.
10 plays, 75 yards. Brandon Gibbons adds the extra point for the Wolverines. The man who scored the touchdown was the holder, Drew Dilio. Devin Gardner, a unique release, able to get the touchdown. Get Michigan within 4. Got a Pacific Life game summary for you here at the 2013 Outback Bowl, with South Carolina leading 14-10. Some big plays, including the 63-yard punt return late in the first quarter by Ace Sanders. Connor Shaw has been sharp. Only missed on one, including a touchdown pass to Demir Bird that covered 56 yards. And Devin Gardner 4-5 on the last drive. There his numbers for the day. The touchdown pass to Drew Dilio. Just a moment ago, back to a 4-point game. Third meeting ever between these two schools. Kickoff by Wiles, short, taken by Ellington at the 7. As he gets down to the 25-yard line, let's go down once again to Shannon Spink.
Well, Mike, when we spoke with the coaches, the Michigan coaches leading up to this game, one word we heard a lot was pride. Specifically when they were talking about the defense, returning this defense to a dominant force in college football. I just witnessed Brady Hoke. He walked along the defense. He leaned down. He spoke to some specific guys, Jake Ryan, Jordan Kovacs, but he was motivating all of his players, no doubt telling them what they are capable of here today.
And Shannon, this is a defense, especially with Hoke and John on the other side with Steve Spurrier as South Carolina's coach. Their hands are right on the entire system, like Dylan Thompson in the game now at quarterback for the Gamecocks. And the sophomore's first pass is immediately erased for a loss of 2 by Joe Bolden, the freshman linebacker out of Cincinnati.
Joe Bolden read that middle screen like a book. Excellent play by the young inside linebacker. It's going to be, Bolden might be on the other side. I'm sorry. He just flashes across the block and makes a tackle for no gain. Wasn't caught off guard with all the misdirection in the backfield. Good instinctive play.
He was able to tackle Sean Carson, who's playing for the very first time in almost 2 years. Missed the entire season with a wrist injury. Played only 2 games last year and then was out the remainder of the season. Here's the throw by Dylan Thompson. It's complete for the gain of only 2 yards. Right back to Carson. Here's Robert Flores with a studio update.
All right, Mike, rough start for Georgia quarterback Aaron Murray. 2 interceptions, including 1 as a pick-6. But here he connects with Tavares King at number 7, Georgia, leading Nebraska in the Capital One Bowl, 16-14, end of 1 on ESPN.
A wild stretch there, Robert. 3 scores in a span of 38 seconds. Here, 8 plays, 14 yards for South Carolina. The pressure's on as Thompson throws down the middle. It's caught on the run. Nick Jones. Will they catch him? Jones to the 4. First and goal, South Carolina.
Right down the seam. The Wolverines come with a field blitz. It doesn't get there, and Carolina gashes them right down the seam, right side of your screen. Here comes a blitz. And Connor Shaw throws a beautiful ball to Nick Jones. 3 receivers running vertical. It's a Steve Spurrier trademark. And off he goes right down the seam. Good effort tackle by the Wolverine defense. But when you give up a 70-yard play on 3rd and long, demoralizing to your football team.
Gerard Wilson, who was diving to make that play, is shaken up as Dylan Thompson, the sophomore, who was tremendous in the game against Clemson, threw for 310 yards and 3 touchdowns, getting his series. And it looked to be a struggle as it was going backwards, wasn't gaining a lot of yardage, but the huge play by Thompson to hit the sophomore Nick Jones.
I think I said Connor Shaw. I've seen so many quarterbacks in the first half. They're playing more quarterbacks than I use when I coach, Mike.
And that's saying something.
How about having a young quarterback come off his bench inside your own 15-yard line, making a throw like that? You got to tip your hat to Thompson.
Yeah, Dylan Thompson is a 3rd-year sophomore. You know, Steve Spurrier was pretty candid with us because there's a lot of speculation that we may be in one of those vintage Spurrier games where it goes back and forth and changes quarterbacks by series or even by snap. Thompson is seen as the better passer by many folks here with South Carolina, but Steve made a better point. He said he's one of those gamers. When he's in the game, he performs better than when he practices. He's getting this series here. You see bloodied Gerard Wilson, I should say, being helped off. This will be a big boost for Thompson to take South Carolina in for a score on his drive. From the 4, sprinting out, and a touchdown to Ace Sanders. Well, maybe it'll be more than one series that we see Dylan Thompson today.
That's a great job by Dylan Thompson. Also, excellent play calling by the Spurriers. It's just going to be a sprint to the right, and Ace Sanders sticks his left foot in the ground, breaks to the outside. That's a slam dunk as far as I'm concerned. Excellent play calling against man-to-man coverage, and Michigan doesn't have anyone that can cover Ace Sanders one-on-one.
Impact Sanders has had on the game. Punt return for a touchdown. That 4-yard score caps off 75-yard drive. Just snuck in to the right side for the extra point by Adam Yates. Ace has 2 here on New Year's Day. But how about the sophomore Dylan Thompson? You're going to get a series. We don't know how much more. Big 70-yard completion on 3rd down, then a touchdown. We'll see a little bit more here today. This is the first of 3 games right here on ESPN today. The Rose Bowl presented by Vizio is coming up next. And then in primetime tonight, the Discover Orange Bowl. So do you believe in Northern Illinois? What will they bring to the table in Florida State? Will they respond to the moment as well? Northern Illinois, Florida State. Jordan Lynch, their terrific quarterback for Northern Illinois. See what they can do. The Discover Orange Bowl, 8:30 Eastern tonight. ESPN, of course, it's live on the Watch ESPN app as well. And all the games in the Bowl Championship Series available on ESPN Radio if you're out and about driving home after your New Year's Day visit with family and friends. Mike Tirico, John Gruden, Shannon Spake with you in Tampa, 21-10. And that kickoff goes out of bounds. Good job by Norfleet to help the field position for Michigan.
Big matchup in this game is Jadeveon Clowney against Taylor Lewan. Clowney's tried to go inside. He's tried to use the bull rush, and Lewan has been ready every time. There's another power rush. Taylor Lewan has really been impressive today. Michigan's picked up the stunts. So far, they've used screens, different types of deception, and also just good physical blocking by Taylor Lewan. But don't be surprised if Clowney doesn't get it going before long, Mike.
Yeah, the defensive coaches at South Carolina were egging Clowney on. Lorenzo Ward, the defensive coordinator, telling us yesterday, we were telling them how great Lewan is, and they barely allowed a sack all year. We don't know if it's true. We're just giving him as much motivation as possible because we wanted to see how he would match up head-to-head with a man ticketed for the first round of the NFL as an offensive lineman.
And Brady Hoke, he went over to Taylor Lewan. He said, Taylor, you didn't play your best game against Ohio State. And Lewan knew it. Lewan knew he had a chance today to go up against college football's finest defender. And he, so far, has met the challenge.
The officials in conversation with Steve Spurrier. after that kickoff went out of bounds. And now huddling together as a group, this Big East crew. Jeff McConaughey.
Glad we got that solved, Mike.
They're placing it at the 35, which should be the 40. When a kickoff goes out of bounds, we'll try to find out exactly why in a moment. In any case, the first down run with Denard Robinson out of the backfield. He was tripped up by Devontae Holloman. A number of times we've called this terrific senior out of Charlotte.
Oh, they blitz. And Michigan runs the ball right into the blitz. And Holloman, number 21, on the right side of your screen, comes right off the edge, slips a block, and makes a beautiful second effort tackle. Holloman can play inside or out. Versatile Carolina Gamecock.
Holloman, Reginald Bowen, Shaq Wilson, three senior linebackers. Comes a little jet sweep, give it to Denard Robinson, a yard shy of the first down. And a yard and a half as he's tripped up at his own 43-yard line.
Jet sweep. I just love the speed and the fearlessness that Denard Robinson plays with. It wasn't easy on him to miss a couple games, see the offense go a different direction without him. But he's become a real leader here at Michigan. He's the face of this Michigan football program. They're going to miss him.
Final game today, third and a long yard and a half. And Devin Gardner's going to run for it and get it. And more as he goes to the sideline right at midfield. First down for Michigan. And a gain of 7 for Gardner.
This is a strange play. It looks like it's going to be the old-fashioned G lead where the quarterback hands the ball to the tailback. Right guard's going to pull, but Gardner keeps it. He lures the Carolina Gamecocks inside where they think the tailback is going to be running the ball, and Gardner uses his elusiveness to get the corner. Very creative play calling in this first half by this Michigan staff.
Michigan has converted its last 4 third downs. And on first down, Gardner looking to take a shot. Taking it downfield. It's incomplete. Broken up as it was intended for Jeremy Gallen. DJ Swearinger coming over from his safety spot. Almost had his 3rd interception of the year.
Boy, Swearinger shows you something there in the back end. Beautiful double move by Gallen. Post, corner, post. Play had a chance, but DJ Swearinger shows off his deep range. And that's the play the great safeties make. Grass plays. They can go from sideline to sideline and recover, and Swearinger can just about do anything you want a safety man to do.
Timeout.
Michigan had 12 men on the field.
First charge, timeout.
Back and forth with Denard Robinson to getting the right personnel in. And it's the first time that they've been caught, and that's happened several times during the timeout. Michigan with 9:05 until halftime.
ESPN College Football, the Outback Bowl, is brought to you by Nissan, premier partner of the Heisman Trophy. Interstate Batteries, preferred 5-to-1 by auto technicians. Find your local dealer at interstatebatteries.com. And new True Biotics, a daily probiotic from the makers of One A Day.
And that's a heck of a view for aerial coverage. The parachute team that came in before the game, and the ball coach was checking. Hey, do you think they got any ball plays up in there? Bring it down to me.
Yeah, I love Spurrier.
Pretty cool. It was part of the pageantry pregame here at the Outback Bowl out of the Michigan timeout. It's 2nd and 10, and Vincent Smith taking it to the left side. The ball comes out. Quarles reacted to it quickly for South Carolina, but Michigan able to get Jeremy Jackson with a very big recovery.
South Carolina can get hats to the ball. Watch the end of the play. Jerideau, Swearinger, who we just talked about, always involved in the outcome of plays.
It was Swearinger who forced it out. Safety you alluded to a moment ago. It actually worked to Michigan's benefit. A play that was only going to gain a yard ended up gaining 6. And now it's 3rd and 4. And Devin Gardner will sprint, throw on the run, and it's incomplete.
Well, you
had Roundtree open, John.
Yeah, you're right, Mike. You just feel the sprint out's coming. It's what Gardner does well. That time Roundtree gets a rotation to him. He's got to do a better job tracking the end lines. Every receiver needs to understand the 12th man is that white chalk. And it's Roundtree's responsibility to track the sideline. Not a great throw, but Roundtree needs to leave a little bit more room.
Matt Weil, last time he punted, Ace Sanders took it back 63 yards for a touchdown. This time backed up. Sanders going to catch it. Why not at the 10? See if we have a 90-yard punt return. That time hemmed in. Just a return of about 3 for Sanders. 34 on the kick. South Carolina ball. Tomorrow night, All-State Sugar Bowl here on ESPN. Champions of the Big East, Louisville against Florida. The Muschamps team number 3. Could end up number 2 in the country and not have won division or conference or anything else except the All-State Sugar Bowl. 8 Eastern time. A terrific Florida team has had a great season. Takes on Louisville. The All-State Sugar Bowl from New Orleans. Connor Shaw back in at quarterback for South Carolina. Keeping, he's the better runner of the two. He takes it to the 20-yard line, and a flag comes in late. As Michigan may have been guilty of doing something wrong after the whistle.
After the play, personal foul. Late hit. Defense. Number 35. 15-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
Down, it's the freshman Joe Bolden.
You've seen a lot worse than that, honestly, Mike. What speed did you see that at? I didn't like that.
So that resolution for trying to be nice to the officials? It's gone, I'm sorry. So a first down at the 35-yard line. And Shaw, Kenny Miles lost the football. And the Wolverines are on it with Jake Ryan.
So one thing I noticed about the Gamecock offensive linemen, they're massive, but they don't move real well together at times. This time it's a zone read, instant penetration. And that ball's clearly out. And guess who recovered it? Number 47, Jake Ryan, all Big Ten performer, but penetration, unblocked Wolverines.
Mario Ojemudia came in and made the play to break it up. This is a situation where over his career, Michigan's seen big plays from Denard Robinson in sudden change situations. The 31, it's given to Robinson, looking for space. There's not much there, and he only gets 2 yards as Devin Taylor makes the tackle.
Devin Taylor, I stood down there just looking at the size of these two ends. Clowney 6'7". Devin Taylor is 6'8". He can redirect. He does a lot of dirty work. He's the setup man for Clowney. But they've got two impact edge players here in Columbia, and it's critical that the Gamecocks get off the field now.
It's the first turnover by South Carolina. Michigan's turned it over once today. Robinson taking and handing to Vincent Smith. Only going to go back to the line of scrimmage. That time Devin Gardner was lined up at his wide receiver position where he played during the regular season until the injury at Nebraska.
I swear to you, this Swearinger is a player, Mike. That time he reads his power read, you're going to see number 36 slash on the left side of your screen. He's going to tackle Robinson and the back. He doesn't care who has it. But DJ Swearinger, second on the Gamecocks in tackles. He's an outstanding blitzer, and he's got 3 interceptions as well. He's all over the field today.
And here's South Carolina doing what you see NFL teams like the Giants do. 4 defensive ends on the field to pass rush. They call it their rabbit package. And they're bringing pressure as well. Devin Gardner looking for space. Helmet off, so that ball should be dead at the spot where his helmet came off. It's a rule that's been in college football several years. And they still gave him a couple of yards extra. It should be back, which impacts the length of the field goal attempt into the wind. I think they missed that one there.
number 12.
I would not want to be quarterback against this pressure package. You see Shaq Wilson, number 54. He covers the center. It's a stunt blitz with Swearinger coming. And you see Fordham, 57. There's Devin Taylor, 98, and Clowney. Let's take a look at the big fella working against Taylor Lewan.
Gardner's helmet off. They were announcing he obviously has to come out for a play, but they did not spot the ball back. Now he's showing a fake instead of a Brandon Gibbons field goal attempt here. And a direct snap to Drew Dillio, the receiver, who tried to throw back that wasn't open. Now Dillio's going to take off. He's going to run, and he got the first down at the 20-yard line. It's a bowl game. Anything's available. And the Wolverines go trickeration for the first down.
Brady Hoke has had a lot of time to think of that play. I've seen a lot of fakes and a lot of gimmicks and gadgets. Even Brady Hoke has a smile on his face. There's Michigan Wolverines going in motion. You see Dillio sprinting to his right. He's looking for a throwback. He makes the instinctive north-south finish for the first down. I love that play right there.
They needed 6. They got 7. Drew Dillio. You walk past him, you wouldn't think he's a football player, but he's all football player from Michigan. Gardner takes it. He throws. It is caught for a gain of about 4 by Rory Roundtree, just shy of the 15-yard line for Michigan.
I don't know how many times offensive coordinator Al Borges has moved the pocket. Sprint out to the right, sprint out to the left. They do not want to drop straight back to pass and ask their linemen to protect. So far, so good. Michigan's done a nice job, for the most part, neutralizing this Gamecock pass rush.
The leader of that, Jadeveon Clowney, out for this snap. Vincent Smith is the back. It's a keeper for Gardner. He can't dance away from J.T. Surratt. The sophomore out of Winston-Salem had a hand on the jersey. It wasn't letting go.
J.T. Surratt, Reginald Bowens. They read that quarterback draw quite well. Got out of their pass rush mode, redirected, chased down Gardner. Another key third down. Looks like the rabbit package is back.
Yep.
4 defensive ends. Fordham is inside with Devin Taylor. Let's see what Michigan does. They've been using a lot of sprint out passes in this situation.
The big tight end in Devin Funchess, a true freshman. He's going down the middle. Gardner going to get hit, going to go down and get sacked. Victor Hampton came with the corner pressure to force Michigan to a field goal attempt.
Well, Victor Hampton on a short corner blitz. Lorenzo Ward, the defensive coordinator, told us they were going to bring Hampton on some edge pressures today. This time he runs right over the protecting back for the sack. That's an impressive play. Hampton, who had the penalty earlier in the game, makes amends for it right there with a big sack.
Now we'll see if the lefty Gibbons will try it from 40 yards out. And the hold of Dillio. Brandon Gibbons knocks it through. 21-13. That sack on third down kept Michigan from taking the drive even deeper. And Steve Spurrier's team, part of a record season. Jadeveon Clowney, sacks 42 on the year. It's now a school record for South Carolina in a single season. And it's the same. We say this every time we get to do a college game. Obviously, all the all-time records are screwed up because you're playing more regular season games. Bowl games did not count towards season records back in the day, but Clowney's presence has been impressive. This is a terrific front four. Like to see most of the SEC teams.
No question. And Lorenzo Ward, the defensive coordinator in his first year, taking over for Ellis Johnson, has done an excellent job. And a lot of these sacks are because of their personnel up front, but it's also because of their much improved play in the secondary, Mike. They're able to hold their coverage and allow this rush to get there. But they have 85 tackles for loss. They've recovered 14 fumbles. They've intercepted 14 passes. This Gamecock defense, as good as there is in college football against the run or pass.
They're top 17 in all those key stats, points, yards, running the pass, and they're 4th in the SEC. It's just a national reminder of what you saw every Saturday, how great defense is in the SEC. Out to kick. Taken at the 3 by Augusti. Second kick return. He'll come across the 25. And Akeem takes it to the 27-yard line. It is time now for the Aflac trivia question. There you go. Steve Spurrier, the winningest coach at Florida and now at South Carolina. There's only one other coach who has the most wins at 2 SEC schools. I have not seen the answer, but I know it. The question is to you.
I don't know the things that you know, Mike. I'm going to let our listeners figure that one out. I would say Bear Bryant.
You might say that. You might be right. I'm sure there was no voice in your ear helping you on that one. But, no, he's legit. Nobody was talking to him? Huh?
Come on, Mike.
First down for Connor Shaw as he throws incomplete, and we send it to the studio and Robert Flores.
All right, Mike. Tyrus Jones, touchdown run for Northwestern. Northwestern looking for their first bowl win since 1949 in the Rose Bowl. Right now they're leading Mississippi State in the TaxSlayer.com Gator Bowl on ESPN2.
On all the family networks, Robert, close games here involving Big Ten teams. Georgia's up 6 on Nebraska. SEC Big Ten over on ABC in the Cap 1 Bowl. The other one's a blowout. Oklahoma State leading Purdue 38-0 on ESPNU. There's Shaw taking off. Escorted to the sidelines. There's one Taylor showing him there, John, with 33.
One thing Connor Shaw can do. You know, for a lot of quarterbacks, that's a sack or it's a gain of 0. But Shaw has the functional mobility to get out of trouble and keep these Gamecocks in 3rd down in normal situations. And with the 2-minute mark looming here in the first half, you'd love to see Michigan's defense rise to the occasion and get a stop if you're a Wolverine fan.
Big play on 3rd down earlier in this quarter by South Carolina. Shaw sprinting, designed run, first down. That's exactly what you were talking about, John, and no ill effects of the ankle and foot injuries that bothered him earlier this season.
That's why he's playing and Thompson isn't. It's a designed run. Option threat with Mike Davis at tailback, but they want the ball in Shaw's hands. And he shows you his ability to run with the ball.
And a 10 there for Connor. 100 seconds left in this first half. Shaw this time has to go down. Just a loss of about a half yard. And Steve Spurrier's going to take time out. Almost got a visor toss there from the ball coach. He's unhappy. He was angry. He was disappointed about the play there. Shaw, we talked about that leg and ankle that was bothering him earlier in the season. He's limping around a little bit after that 10-yard scramble. Our pal John Saunders celebrating New Year's back in the studio there with Mark May, Lou Holtz, the former Gamecock coach, who I'm sure picked South Carolina in this game. We'll talk about the SEC Big Ten battle between Georgia and Nebraska. The game day crew with a preview from Pasadena on the Rose Bowl game coming up next year on ESPN. Then we'll look ahead to prime time and the Discover Orange Bowl with Northern Illinois in action against Florida State. All coming up next year at the half.
You're looking at South Carolina huddle, Mike. Small receivers, 5'8", 5'9", no bigger than that. But quick. Ellington, 23. Sanders, number 1.
You know, John, remember I said that Shaw was limping around a little bit on that leg. Dylan Thompson's in at quarterback, so maybe Shaw, in fact, did get hurt on that play. 2nd and 11, and this time it's Thompson who's pressured, and he goes down. Jabril Black, the junior out of Cincinnati, his 3rd sack of the season.
Well, Jabril Black, one of the pure pass rushers they have in Michigan, and you're going to see the right guard for South Carolina really struggle here in pass protection. Ronald Patrick, either a breakdown in communication or it's just a bad pass set by Patrick. Nice inside move.
And Michigan then taking a timeout with 3rd and 24 looming after that sack, and that'll be an interesting story, John, with the injury to Connor Shaw. We'll have to watch what happens with Shaw as Dylan Thompson came in. It's a good thing he got in for that series. You know, Steve Spurrier is always criticized for switching quarterbacks, which he's done during the past. We always have to remind ourselves, Steve, the Heisman Trophy winner in 1966, he understands that position so well that the small things frustrate him. He's always looking for that perfect model of a guy at quarterback.
Yeah, I don't think the criticisms bother Coach Spurrier as much as they did some of us. But if anybody can handle a two-quarterback system, it's Steve Spurrier. It's been part of his career as a coach, and he's had great success with it. I don't think he wanted to use two extensively today, but because of the injury, that's what's going on right now.
Yeah, this is huge, B. Having Thompson come in with the experience, not just this season in the Clemson game, but on this second quarter, he had a good drive. Sacks of 1 and 13 on back-to-back plays as Shaw comes back in, and he gets bumped out of bounds, and that allows Michigan to save a timeout as well. With 68 seconds left, the Wolverines will get the ball back via the punt.
Same play they ran last week against Clemson on 3rd and 20 to beat the Clemson Tigers. A quarterback draw on 3rd and 22 beat Clemson last week. But Michigan did their homework. They read their tip sheet. Big stop by the Wolves on defense.
So Shaw goes back over to the bench. We'll keep an eye on the two quarterbacks. Tyler Hull sets a punt for South Carolina. Big rush against Hull. It goes down, but no flag comes as Dillio runs up to fair catch it for Michigan at the 32-yard line. 60 seconds, one timeout. Michigan down 8. All right, let's get the answer to our Aflac trivia question here on this New Year's Day. Aflac. Spurrier, Florida and South Carolina, winning as head coach. 2 SEC schools. You said Bear Bryant. You are correct.
Okay.
You see you're getting good here.
I saw the movie Junction City Boys too, if you want to know, Mike. Get a copy, rent it. Bet you haven't seen it.
I have. It's a great movie. Tremendous book. So many great stories over the years. Alabama and Kentucky, of course. So back to Michigan. 1 minute, no timeouts. Both quarterbacks on the field. It's Gardner buying time, finding space, throwing short for Dillio. It is ruled a catch. South Carolina folks disagree here. There's a flag down back by the quarterback.
Holding. Offense. Number 77. 10-yard penalty. First down.
And Taylor Lewan, the second flag of the half.
Well, guess who? It's Clowney in a predictable passing situation. Clearly a hold on Taylor Lewan, and I think that's just as good as a sack personally. These marquee defensive ends, Julius Peppers, John Abraham, you name them, they get held a lot. Which I know Clowney's got 21 career sacks. I promise you he's been held 25 times as well.
And a school record 4.5 against Clemson. The clock running. Michigan backed up. It's 1st and 20. The pass complete on the far side. We're down to 26 seconds yet left for Jeremy Gowan, leading receiver, able to get out of bounds.
Nice sideline awareness, knowing the situation. 26 seconds left. Ball's on the left hash. I expect Michigan to roll Devin Gardner out again to his right and work a 2-receiver combination at the bottom of the screen.
Gardner tries the middle, and it's caught to the 43-yard line. It's one of his best throws of the day. Clock stops to move the chains. The catch by Gallen as Michigan at the 43, and they can kill it here. And they do with 16 seconds left till halftime.
Trips formation. They isolate Gallen into the short side of the field, and Devin Gardner just made his best throw of the day. Timing post pattern on the backside. You're going to see Gallen, who's on the weak side of this trips formation, just break to the inside. Ball's thrown on time and on the money.
Brandon Gibbons' long field goal is 52 yards. He's into a bit of a wind, so Michigan needs about 13 yards to get in field goal range. Here's Gardner throwing high, incomplete. Gallen going up to compete. A high, hot pass.
That's a bad decision right there by Gardner. It's a high-low. You have a receiver breaking deep on the outside. You have a back in the flat. Throw it deep or throw it underneath based on where the corner is. Right here, the ball's got to be thrown in the flat. The corner hung underneath this deep bench route. That's a bad decision in that situation.
Because that's probably enough yards to give you a legit field goal shot.
Young quarterbacks. It's the best way to train them right here. Game day.
3rd and 10 with 10 seconds left. That South Carolina pass rush heating up. Pass is incomplete. It was intended for Dillio. Swearinger just on time to break it up. Now 5 seconds remaining in 4th down. Decision here for Brady Hoke. If you can buy enough time, you can run around and put up a Hail Mary towards the end zone. South Carolina fans remember what happened right before the half of your bowl game last year, the Cap One Bowl. It was a Hail Mary pre-half touchdown.
Alshon Jeffrey.
Right. Gardner looking for space. He'll launch it to end the half downfield. And if you were in the first row, you had a chance to catch it. 4 completions to end the half as Michigan got it to the 43-yard line. South Carolina's defense able not to give up points. And that changed situation. 21-13. Gamecocks lead by 8. Entertaining first half, to say the least. Michigan will get the ball here to start the 3rd quarter. Wolverines gave up 2 touchdowns in that first quarter. They had only allowed 3 first-quarter touchdowns since the opening week defeat in Arlington, Texas to Alabama. But Steve Spurrier's team up 8. He's standing by with Shannon.
Coach, up by 8. What areas need improvement in the second half?
Oh, we're not running the ball at all, Shannon. We struggling. No blocking or something. Maybe we need to try to get outside or do something different. But anyway, we've made some big plays. That's why we're ahead.
So we started the game asking about your quarterback situation. Might as well continue. What's the plan?
Well, Dylan threw some nice ones in there, and Connor threw some good ones too. We'll just have to see how it plays out.
Thanks, Coach.
Shannon, thank you. 9 rushes for 8 yards to South Carolina in that first half. 21-13 as we send New Year's greetings to John Saunders, Mark May, and Lou Holtz in the studio. Gentlemen.
Mike, thanks a lot, and Happy New Year to you and the crew as well here in our halftime report. And Steve Spurrier always seems like he's the best quarterback on the field at the time, including his own. But for Steve Spurrier, the thing that's making his team go is the fact that he probably has a superior defense.
He's got the best defensive lineman in the nation, bar none, Jadeveon Clowney, and he was matched up against Taylor Lewan, one of the top 5 tackles in the country. He's a junior. He can declare for the NFL draft. Clowney can't. He's a sophomore. But this is the game within a game. Now, offensive coordinator Al Borges has been smart. They've double-teamed him a little bit, chipped on a little bit, rolled away from him. But Lewan has done a spectacular job in one-on-one opportunities. Right here, he gets a little help from the guard, but he's fighting in there. It's a hand fight. It's a fist fight. He's held Clowney in check. And here he is. He goes after him. I like the aggressiveness. I like the meanness. He gets knocked down there, but there's nothing wrong with that because there's a player behind him. But he gets back up and gets into plays. And it's a pure hustle and determination. This is why I really like Lewan. I think he's going to be one of the top tackles drafted if he comes out this year. He's in the top 5. I put him in the top 3 in my personal.
And one of the underestimated talents of South Carolina is their receivers. I think Ace Sanders has tremendous speed. And the one thing about Thompson and Connor Shaw, they go for the big one. They complete a lot. And you can say all you want about Steve Spurrier. The guy is brilliant as a passer. I mean, he come up with a concept of how to get people open deep time after time after time.
You better come up with a concept of running the football because they're going to have to run to win this game.
No, they aren't. The punt return and their defense, they have enough points to win it now.
He's looking to run the ball as well, but you're right. He likes to use 2 quarterbacks. He always has. There's nothing different with South Carolina. So Big Ten SEC matchup also in the Capital One. The same type of situation as Georgia face Nebraska. That's number 7 going against number 16. And Aaron Murray going deep, and this was a problem with turnovers early as P.J. Smith picks this one off.
A terrific job by the defense of reading the quarterback's eyes. 2 defenders down there, ill-advised pass by Aaron Murray, and Nebraska capitalizes on it.
And then the punt. And Coach, this is a play I know you guys teach your special teams guy, get your hands on the ball, but they struggle with this one.
Oh, they do. I mean, it's just all your guys, and the ball's sitting there. The ball's sitting there, and lo and behold, they finally get it. Isn't it amazing how they always recover it right after it gets out of the end zone?
That's for a safety. And then Murray finds Arthur Lynch 29 yards in a touchdown. Georgia grabs a 9-0 lead. But then Taylor Martinez to Jamal Turner, 14 yards as he looks good early.
Does a terrific job of standing tall in the pocket and firing the football downfield. Georgia
then at Murray again with the turnovers. Will Compton picks this one off, and to make matters worse, takes it for a touchdown. 14-9 is the score there. Still in the first quarter, Georgia gets the ball back, and Aaron Murray, this time looking for Tavares King over the top, shows the arm strength.
Terrific pass protection, but here it's feast or famine. It's either an interception by Murray or a touchdown pass.
Touchdown this time around, 16-14, end of the first quarter. Then Taylor Martinez, problems on his side as well. Damian Swan takes this and returns it 19 yards into Nebraska territory. So Georgia's defense playing the turnover game as well.
This is one of those games where hang on to your hat. One of us fixing to score on every play, offense or defense.
Well, how about this one? The direct snap to Todd Gurley, takes it. He goes for the touchdown, 24 yards, 23-14. Then Taylor Martinez hooks up with the big guy, Rex Burkhead out of the backfield.
Back and forth.
24-23 is the score. Nebraska has the lead, and they have not reached halftime yet. When we come back, we've got another matchup between the Big Ten and the SEC as Northwestern was playing the turnover game against Mississippi State. That one's coming up.
You're watching ESPN's presentation of Capital One Bowl Week.
Final day of Capital One Bowl Week, the 2013 Outback Bowl. Our New Year's wishes from Tampa, Florida on this 75-degree sunny day. Mike Tirico, John Gruden, Shannon Spake watching South Carolina take an 8-point lead. Explosive plays from the Gamecocks in that first half. Steve Spurrier told Shannon, John, going off to the locker room that he was concerned about the running game and not getting the running game started. There's been some confusion for South Carolina on offense, but that is typical of what offenses have experienced going up against the Michigan defense. You're going to show us that in our Farmers Insurance breakdown.
Well, South Carolina has made 3 big plays, one in the kicking game, and a couple have been against this Michigan Wolverine blitz package. You see right here, here's 4 Michigan Wolverines blitzing at the top of the screen. Jordan Kovacs is late getting to the post, and it's a big play down the middle against a blown coverage that really ignited this South Carolina offense. And then on another occasion, it's a corner blitz from the short side of the field. You see Kenny Miles come across the formation, pick it up. And when you pick up the blitz, you're vulnerable in one-on-one coverage when you play the South Carolina Gamecocks. That is one area that we've found in the first half. But Greg Madison continues to blitz. It's been feast or famine. Here they get to Dylan Thompson with a blitz coming from the field. There's an error in the communication. The Michigan Wolverines don't have a lot of natural pass rushers, and they're going to continue to blitz. But Michigan's got to clean up the coverage when they do blitz, or they'll get exposed again.
It's the weakness of that team, and South Carolina's great skill people took advantage of that in the second quarter especially. Let's go down to the sidelines again and Shannon Spake.
Well, Mike, apparently the theme of the second half for the Michigan players, it's going to be turn it up. I heard several of the players chanting that as they were leaving the locker room. They couldn't wait to get out on the field. I checked in with Brady Hoke, and John, you mentioned those big plays, and that was the #1 thing he brought up. He said we have to stop letting them get the big plays. We have to put more pressure on the back end, and if we put pressure on them, we must finish the play.
All right, Shannon, we'll watch to see as Michigan gets the ball first to start this third quarter. It's a South Carolina team that is trying to win 11 games in back-to-back seasons for the first time in school history. Great run that Steve Spurrier has had. It is now 8 years at Columbia. The contract extended out to 2017. If Spurrier and his team win this second half, Steve becomes the winningest bowl coach in South Carolina history with 3. South Carolina only has 5 bowl wins all time. Third quarter underway, and Norfleet will get his first return opportunity a couple yards out. Norfleet finds a crease and gets to the 32-yard line. Brandon Wilds with the tackle. Pacific Life game summary. Those of you a little sleepy-eyed on this New Year's morning and afternoon, we got started with a bang. Connor Shaw, 56-yard touchdown pass. Demir Bird hauled it in just a minute 34 in. it was 7-0 South Carolina. And then after Michigan kicked the field goal, make it 7-3. Ace Sanders, second time this year, third time in his Gamecock career, a 63-yard punt return for touchdown. But then watch this Devin Gardner delivery. Just a push shove to Drew Dillio. And that was Michigan's touchdown, made it 21-10. It has been Gardner as the quarterback with Denard Robinson mostly as a running back in this game. And Gardner gets hit for a loss of a couple of yards. And Victor Hampton has been big off that corner, makes another play.
Off tackle power play. And if you cut this play back, I don't care who you are as a running back, you're on your own. And Denard Robinson has great one-on-one ability in space, but Victor Hampton was up to the challenge that time. But you can't be bouncing these running plays where defenders aren't blocked against South Carolina, or they will punish you.
Mike Kwiatkowski, the tight end, staying into block, and the throw over the top is caught. Let's see, is it ruled a catch? Yes, it is, by the other tight end. Clowney is injured.
Play action pass. You get the inside linebackers to step up.
Now ruled incomplete there. They changed it to incomplete.
And they throw the ball to Funchess in behind the linebackers. We're not going to see it from that angle.
Let's watch Clowney, who's still down on the field for South Carolina. Just took a shot in the midsection as Vincent Smith was blocking him.
So Clowney's okay. I thought Funchess came up with that ball, Mike.
At first it was ruled complete, and then the official from the back came in and signaled it was incomplete, that Funchess did not hold on. Vincent Smith going to block. A player who finished 6th in the Heisman voting this year, Jadeveon Clowney, was the #1 recruit when coming out of high school. And Steve Spurrier said a big part of getting Clowney Mr. Football in 2011 was Marcus Lattimore, who was already there. Lattimore, the injured South Carolina running back.
Yeah, Clowney came on his official visit. He came to watch a basketball game, and guess who his host was? Marcus Lattimore, the all-time favorite Carolina Gamecock. He did a lot more for this program than just run the football. And so Clowney's okay.
Brutal spot to take a hit like that from Smith. And Clowney able to come off under his own power. 3rd and 13 on this opening second half drive for Michigan. 4-man rush. Gardner's had nowhere to go. Every time he tries to break out, there's been a Gamecock waiting for him. This time he gains yards, but Chaz Sutton, who came in when Clowney went out, helps to force the 3 and out for South Carolina's defense.
Well, you see it's man-to-man coverage across the board. They're challenging these Michigan receivers, nowhere to throw, and not a good series that time by Michigan to start this third quarter.
And again, Michigan's all Big Ten punter is suspended for the game, so Matt Weil is kicking instead of Will Hagerup. Ace Sanders had a 63-yard punt return in the first half. Great rush on. They run into the kicker. The flag is thrown. Tremendous kick, a 53-yarder. Sanders has room back in the 10, but slid down. He'll go down back inside the 10-yard line. Dennis Norfleet did a great job on the coverage. And the man who is probably going to get called for the penalty, Dietrich Marcus, got the worst of it.
Kicker, defense number 26.
I didn't see a lot of contact there, Mike.
Said running into, not roughing, just a 5-yard penalty.
I don't know if I saw any contact.
Penalties declined. First down.
Ran into that kicking leg as it was up, and they always try to protect the kicker when he's in that vulnerable and exposed spot. Didn't rough him. It's only 5, so Michigan, instead of re-kicking, declines the penalty. It'll be South Carolina ball back inside their 10. Marcus walked off under his own power. one of the worst moments of the season. 9 weeks ago, Marcus Lattimore, won't show you the gruesome leg injury that he suffered. Coming back, remember, from one knee injury, then suffers a one to the other knee, the right knee, and all those Tennessee players and all the South Carolina players, the noise in Williams-Brice when he left that stadium. Just a reminder and example of how this special player, kind of a Pied Piper, great running back, but has attracted so many good players to South Carolina over the last couple of years, how positive they felt for him. He has since declared for the NFL draft after dislocating his kneecap on that hit. As Shaw runs there and a flag comes down, Shannon Spake, it's great to see Marcus Lattimore standing next to you.
Mike, I will tell you, over here in the South Carolina fans, they are super excited to see you down here because, of course, the last time most college football fans saw you, you were laying on the field with that injury. What went through your mind when that happened, Marcus?
Honestly, I thought I was dreaming. And I was like, okay, I'm about to wake up from this dream. But, you know, unfortunately, I went into shock, and I seen how my leg was awkwardly looking, and I mean, it wasn't a good sight.
Where are you from a recovery standpoint right now? I see you walking around, no crutches, no cane.
Oh, I feel great. It's no pain. I'm 2 months out of surgery, and, you know, the next step for me is jogging on land, so I'm really excited about that.
Do you know when that will happen?
I'm thinking end of January, and I think that'll be perfect.
Your decision to go into the NFL draft.
Shannon, here goes Connor Shaw. He faked the handoff and then took off like Lattimore all the way to the 11-yard line. What a run. 64 yards after the penalty of personal foul in Michigan. John, watch Shaw.
Well, it's a read play. The end closes. Shaw keeps it. And if it's not for Raymond Taylor, Shaw's going to the house. Great execution. Steve Spurrier wanted to run the ball better. That they did. Let's hope Shaw is all right. We just saw Clowney get hurt. We're talking to Lattimore, one of the all-time Gamecocks who's coming off an injury. And now it looks like their quarterback is gimping.
A personal foul penalty to Michigan after the first down, and then that huge run by Shaw, setting up the Gamecocks in the red zone, and Shaw falling down, throws. The pass is incomplete. Let's go back to Shannon.
Well, let's get some sideline commentary. What'd you think of that run by Shaw?
It looked great. You know, he's a quarterback that can run, and you know, he's one guy that you can put him anywhere on the field and he'll make a play. He can be a quarterback, he can be a running back if he wanted to, but you know, he's a great player.
Decision to go into the NFL draft. Why was that the right decision for you?
I felt like it was the right decision for me because of, you know, everything I've been through, and you know, I'm a running back, and unfortunately, you know, we don't last long if we don't take care of our bodies, and you know, I'm just trying to get a head start on my career and jump to the NFL. And if Coach Gruden gets one of those head coaching jobs, I'll be his guy.
There you go, Coach. Thank you very much. Good luck.
I'd be one of the coaches that would draft you too, Marcus. Yeah, I'll tell you what, I've known this kid since he was in high school. Everybody that comes in contact with Lattimore is a better person. Let's all cross our fingers and hope that the rehab goes well. You'll be hearing from this young man again, I promise you that.
You saw as Shannon was talking to Lattimore as Shaw ran back off the field. That foot that bothered him during the year was in a boot leading up to the practices. He was injured on the run in the first half. After that long run that he had to come off. Dylan Thompson came in on his fly sweep handoff, a flag, back South Carolina up. So the Gamecocks sit 2nd and 15 at the Michigan 16. They flip the field with the big run by Shaw. Now the sophomore Thompson won the Clemson game. Throws to the end zone. Incomplete. Last second late look up for Nick Jones. 3rd down coming up.
Double move by Nick Jones, who had a big play in the first half. This time he's going to slant to the inside, and he's going to run a double move, breaking to the outside, and ball's thrown to the back pylon. I don't know if he lost it in the sun, but he should make a play on that ball. It's well thrown again by Dylan Thompson, who's done nothing but throw strikes since he's been in a ball game.
Big tight end Jarrell Adams on the target. He was across the middle on his turn. 3rd and 15 and get a first down at the 1. 5 in the pattern. Look out! Thompson got away from the rush. Now he's got space. Does he have a receiver in the end zone? Incomplete. Raymond Taylor went up to challenge Demir Bird, who almost came down with his 2nd touchdown catch of the game.
Well, these are plays you have to make if you're Michigan, if you're going to come from behind and win. Jake Ryan has a chance to knock South Carolina potentially out of field goal range with a sack. But it's a nice play by Dylan Thompson in the pocket, sensing pressure. And once again, he puts the ball up high. And Demir Bird can't play it.
Adam Yates, who only kicked 15 field goal attempts this year, made 11 of them, will kick from 34 yards. And no good. So the big run, and then Thompson comes in, can't complete any of those passes, and the field goal is no good.
Well, South Carolina traditionally plays very good red zone offense. They don't kick a lot of field goals. And you can see why, Mike.
Seth Strickland got it down. Adam Yates missed it. Ball coach bumming. 8-point game. Timeout.
ESPN College Football, the Outback Bowl, is brought to you by the Venture Card from Capital One. Earn double miles you can actually use. Universal Pictures Mama, in theaters January 18th. And Great Clips, it's gonna be great.
Same to you, the cheer teams from Columbia and Ann Arbor who enjoy the Outback Bowl. We'll go across the country and see Monte Ball, the all-time touchdown man in football bowl subdivision history. Wisconsin entering that great stadium in Southern California to take on Stanford. The 99th Rose Bowl game presented by Vizio coming up as soon as we're done here on ESPN. Off the missed field goal, Michigan takes over. Denard Robinson with a throw, and that pass is incomplete. It was intended for Drew Dillio. Robinson had not thrown a pass since the injury in the Nebraska game, missed a couple of games, and played two subsequent to that, Iowa and Ohio State, without throwing the ball.
I have no idea how Al Borges, the offensive coordinator, calls the game. Two distinctly different styles of offense and two distinctly different quarterbacks. Hard to make adjustments.
The injury was a nerve injury to the right elbow, and it affected Robinson's ability to throw it. Here he is as a runner again. Had a good run in the first half. Robinson gains 3 to the 23. Reginald Bowens, a senior, playing his last game for the Gamecocks, made the tackle.
Here come the Rabbits. 57 Fordham, 98 Devin Taylor. Third down is 6 or more.
John, we have Taylor Lewan, the Michigan great offensive tackle, injured and seated on the turf here at Raymond James Stadium. And being tended to by the training staff. All these Michigan offensive linemen wear braces no matter what, even in practice and in games. They're looking at Lewan, timeout. Well, not a good sign for Michigan fans. Taylor Lewan, he limped over gingerly, injury to his leg as he got caught here. There's Lewan, who was blocking on this play. Watch as that leg whips around. It hits into another Michigan lineman who was blocking. And Lewan stayed down for quite some time. So as I said, he limped off. Michael Schofield has moved over to left tackle for Michigan. On this 3rd and 6, Devin Gardner rolling and running, put the brakes on and got the first down. So the ability of Gardner to stop in an open space and the over pursuit by the Gamecocks allowed for the first down.
That's a great second effort by Gardner. There's nowhere to throw the ball. Akeem Auguste knocked Roundtree out of bounds into the Carolina bench, the primary receiver. And Gardner says, I've got to go get this myself. He runs through 4 or 5 different Carolina Gamecocks to get the first down. Great effort.
Michigan on offense has Patrick Omame playing right tackle. They brought in Joey Brzezinski, a backup guard, to play Omame's guard spot. It's 1st and 10. And Gardner looking to take a shot downfield. Overthrows Jeremy Gallen and incomplete.
Gardner's got to make that throw. Jeremy Gallen, who's an outstanding double move route runner, just beat Akeem Auguste bad. Watch him break down, stutter, and then go back up the field. There's no one there. That ball's got to be thrown accurately, and you got a big play. Second time today, Gallen has been behind the Gamecock secondary, and Gardner's missed him.
Gardner has not looked as sharp or as crisp as we saw him in the Iowa game earlier this year. It's Denard Robinson in motion, taking the fly sweep, stopping on a dime, and there goes Denard for a first down. The 42-yard line. Kelsey Quarles, the tackle after a gain of 12.
Watch this stop and start quickness. He's going to go hard to his left, break off his outside foot, cut it back, and then get north and south. And before you know it, it's a gain of 14 yards. Denard Robinson, one of the most exciting college football players I've seen ever, Mike.
Will go down first in career total offense in Michigan history. Over 10,000 yards. So many made on plays that looked like they were drawn up in the dirt. The tight ends for the Wolverines, and Vincent Smith runs to the right. He gets to the 48-yard line. Now Shannon spoke with Marcus Lattimore, South Carolina, during the last break. Fitzgerald Toussaint is the Michigan running back who had a gruesome leg injury. That was against Iowa. The good news, much like Lattimore, Toussaint made this trip and is on that long road back to recovery. But things that looked so ugly on the field during the game, at least great medical teams at both schools, and two really terrific young men on their way back. Four receivers from Michigan, and Gardner throws complete. That time he hit Gallen at the 35-yard line. Jimmy LeGree tried to pull the ball away. It was too late. Gain of 17. First down, Maize and Blue.
That's a great read by Gardner. You're going to see Dillio break to the outside. The corner jumps him, and the ball's thrown into the hole between the corner and the safety. That is an excellent read by Devin Gardner. The cornerback jumps the flat. You throw the ball in behind him before the safety can get there. Well done.
It is Denard Robinson running out of the backfield, squirting ahead for 4 yards. John, you've seen Robinson in the spread offense. The question will be, as we head between now and April, where is he going to fit in the NFL? Well, from what you've seen, what are your early thoughts?
I like this Denard Robinson on my team. He's proven he can play tailback to a degree. You know, Brady Hoke told us he had a kid at San Diego State, Hillman, who was a 3rd or 4th round pick of the Denver Broncos. And I said, what about Denard Robinson versus Ronnie Hillman? He said, very similar. Robinson can be a tailback, a situational wildcat quarterback or receiver at the next level. I don't think there's any doubt about it.
A lot of shifts and motions out of this Michigan offense today, which you have not seen during the year. Justice Hayes on the carry, and he loses a couple of yards. There's Byron Gerardo. Those big guys up front at 316 pounds.
I like what Michigan is doing. They're keeping their defense off the field. Time of possession, ball control offense. That's the best way to improve your defense. Just don't let them out on the field. But Michigan has done a nice job moving the ball today between the 20s. Can they finish a drive? They've had to settle for field goals twice.
Are you in 4-down territory? Would you try a 52-yard field goal? Brady Hoke talking about those things on the sideline. South Carolina's bringing heat. Here it comes. Clowney in that 4-point stance off the edge. Gardner throws the other way, too high and incomplete. He had Gallen open for a first down. The throw wasn't good enough.
Fundamentals. Footwork. There are throws you have to make. The protection is there. You have to be able to finish on your front side foot and make these throws. And Gardner is going to regret looking at the film tomorrow. Should have been a slam dunk, easy first down.
We'll see if they'll try the long field goal this time. It would equal the career long of Brandon Gibbons. 52-yarder he hit at Nebraska. This is 52 with a slight wind behind him. He'll try it. On line. And good. So Gibbons, who hit from 52 at Nebraska, the longest Michigan field goal in 11 years when he made it in Lincoln, bangs through one from 52. And it's 21-16.
Great operation.
You know, John, it was Weil who kicked it, not Gibbons. I beg your pardon. I saw the righty, and I hesitated for a second because Gibbons is the lefty kicker, so Weil, who's done the other kicking, comes to kick the long field goal and knocks it through.
They have some kicking weapons here at Michigan. But once again, it's been an up and down day for Devin Gardner. You've seen flashes of playmaking, and you've seen flashes where he needs to improve. He's just been up and down. He missed a wide open receiver, which would have given Michigan a first down and 10 inside this Carolina red zone. But a great kick. We're making a 5-point game.
Weil had not kicked a field goal in his Michigan days. 2 years, kickoff specialist. And the punter, as we have seen earlier today, had a 49-yard field goal as his high school long back at Parker High School in San Diego. 21-16. Bruce Ellington, who doubles as the point guard on Frank Martin's Gamecock basketball team. Back deep to receive. And they won't take Weil's kickoff back. And there for Weil. Thrilled to have MetLife Blitz with coverage of today's Outback Bowl. The aerial views of the game delivered live from our friend MetLife Snoopy One. MetLife. I can do this. What do you think of those Michigan uniforms, John? They're a little different than Michigan normally wears.
Well, I'll be honest with you, Mike. I can't see any of the numbers from here. Nor can you or our spotters. I'm going to make a complaint to the coach after the game, but I know where Jake Ryan, number 47, is. I promise you that.
The long-haired guys are a big advantage right now. They invest the uniforms like they did for the Alabama game, like many teams do for their big games. Connor Shaw back in at quarterback after coming out with a foot injury after the long run in the third. Shaw's going to throw and incomplete. It was in between a run and a pass. It was too hot for Kenny Miles.
It's Greg Madison, the defensive coordinator of the Michigan Wolverines. That time he rushes 3. It's a 34 defense. It's a 3-man rush. So you have 8 Michigan Wolverines in coverage. There's just nowhere to throw the football. They are daring South Carolina to run it. Let's see what Coach Madison has on a 2nd and long.
South Carolina's 2 really good-looking tight ends, Justice Cunningham, Rory Anderson. Have not called them much today. Go from the game as the clock runs down. And Shaw looks and he throws to the middle. And what do you know? It's one of those big tight ends. It's Justice Cunningham to the 39-yard line and a first down, South Carolina.
That's inexcusable if you're Michigan. You have a 2-man rush this time. I think you're going to see both these Wolverines drop into coverage. A 2-man rush by Michigan. 9 defenders in coverage, and you get ripped for a big play down the seam. Can't happen. Michigan continues to give up big plays to this Carolina offense, and it's going to cost them.
37 yards to Cunningham. I told you those tight ends were good. The only guy who watches film over there, Mr. 4 a.m. Kenny Miles on the run for a couple of yards. I know when you watched in preparation for this game the South Carolina film, it's an appreciation of Steve Spurrier's constant search to the passing game for the right mix, and to see him run a little zone read in there, that was a wow for you.
Well, it really is. You know, Steve Spurrier, he's always been on the cutting edge of offensive football. He hired Sean Elliott from Appalachian State to bring the zone read to Carolina. Harder team to defend now. Here they are in a no-huddle offense. Look at all 5 eligibles looking to Steve Spurrier for the right play.
True freshman Mike Davis next to Shaw, throws to Ace Sanders. Michigan rallies to Sanders quickly. James Ross III made the tackle.
I like James Ross III. It's a field blitz. They're going to come off the strong side, and James Ross, number 15, better go get this quick screen or nobody else will. Excellent job by the young linebacker, wrapping and tackling. 3rd and 7.
South Carolina is going to bring Ellington, the basketball point guard, terrific receiver, top number of catches this year, to the bottom of the screen. Michigan bring pressure. They'll bring 5, and Shaw will throw for that far side. Separation, but out of bounds. Shaq Rowland couldn't bring it in as Shaw got hit. Incomplete.
Jack Rowland, another young receiver on a high fade against man-to-man coverage, clearly out of bounds. And what will Steve Spurrier do? He went for it last time around against Clemson a couple weeks ago on some key fourth downs. He's gone for it 15 times, Mike, and they're going for it. Keep an eye on Mike Davis, freshman running back. He's going to have to be ready to pick up some blitzes. It's an area he has struggled with.
4th and 7 for Connor Shaw and the Gamecocks. In trouble. Shaw gonna run. Take it off. He dropped the football. And Michigan will take over.
Good defense that time. The Wolverines bluff the blitz. They play a zone coverage. And there's nowhere for Connor Shaw to go with the football. They're showing some blitz. It ends up being a 3-man rush. It's a maximum zone. Connor Shaw's going to pump it like he's going to throw it. Ball slips out of his hands, and the Wolverines, in that Brady Hoke effort, rises to the occasion.
Shaw just doesn't look right. You watched him running across the field after the play, limping on that left foot. Momentum to the Maize and Blues. 2/3 of the way through the third quarter. 21-16, South Carolina. Taylor Lewan back in the game after injuring his leg on the last drive. .35, Devin Gardner. Quick pitch and catch through Dilio. Gain of a half dozen. Report from the sideline was cramping issues for Lewan. So that's a terrific bit of news. First round pick. If you're just joining us, they project offensive lineman. Lewan, one of the top projected tackles. Brought up a lot today against Jadeveon Clowney, not there right now for South Carolina, who John and many others think is as good a player as there is in college football. Clowney can't come out this year. He's only been in school 2 years. Denard Robinson takes the direct snap. Shoelace, guy who plays with shoelaces undone, with a gain of 3.
Here comes the beef for the Carolina Panthers. Jerido, number 70. Kelsey Quarles, 99. Run stuffers. 3rd and 2. Michigan wants to be able to run the ball in some critical 3rd and short situations. Let's see what they have in store here with Denard Robinson.
Keep it. They're pulling for the ball when they got the man a yard short of the first down. And on 4th down, it looks like a 3-and-out stop here by South Carolina. Now they're going to send the offense out for the moment for 4th and 1. Perhaps Brady Hoke will think about going for it here.
Well, they've been here before Christmas, Mike. These Wolverines got off the airplane 2 days before Christmas, and Brady Hoke, he's going for the win. He's already faked a punt on 4th down. Why not go for it?
Their own 44, 3 minutes left in the 3rd. Keeper, Gardner through the hole. Devin Gardner into the secondary to the 37-yard line. Gain of 19. First down, Michigan.
Quarterback sneak. And it might be the biggest play they've had all day in the running game. Just a nice wedge block off the right side. Gardner can't believe he came out of there clean. Got to admire the guts of Brady Hoke and these Wolverines. They faked the punt on 4th down. They just went for it on 4th and 1 in their own territory. Can they finish a drive?
Pass Gardner. Again, inaccurate, incomplete for Gowan. What's going to happen in the offseason is Al Borges, the offensive coordinator, is going to turn Devin Gardner more into the pass game fundamentals that haven't been there because of the lack of a better term, Denard Robinson offense.
Well, you got to make these throws. You know, the last drive stymied because he missed a wide open receiver on 3rd down. Here's a 1st down, easy completion into the short side to his favorite receiver, Jeremy Gallon. You have to make these throws and not fall behind in the chains.
Gardner has missed 8 of his last 10 passes. Jadeveon Clowney, it's the 2nd time Clowney has jumped off sides.
Offside. Defense, number 7. 5-yard penalty.
One way to slow down a great pass rusher, change up your snap count. They've done a lot to Clowney today. They've run numerous screens, draws. They've double-teamed him. They've sent an all-Big Ten left tackle at 6'8", 310, Taylor Lewan at him. It's Clowney time. This is when the premier players step up. Late in the third quarter in a big game.
You see with this snap, it'll be 2-to-1 ratio of plays, Michigan to South Carolina in terms of plays run. Denard Robinson direct snap. Again, he slips trying to make a cut. Reginald Bowen's there for the tackle.
Lorenzo Ward, the defensive coordinator at South Carolina, told us we're going to check into some blitzes against Denard Robinson when he's at quarterback. We're going to load the box up. We know he's not going to throw it, and we're going to defend him with all we have. They shut down every gap. There's nowhere for Robinson to go. Lorenzo Ward, been with the Raiders, Virginia Tech, Arkansas. He's paid his dues. He's a good one.
Very good coach. 35, the 4 defensive ends make up the D-line so they can rush the passer. Gardner trying to run for it. Slip through. Spun around. First down, tackled by Clowney.
Wow. That's all Devin Gardner. I've seen him do it on quarterback sneaks. I've seen him run through 4 or 5 Gamecocks. How about this move? Decisive open field spin move. And he makes Shaq Wilson, the leading tackler of the Gamecocks, look bad in space. What a run. I can't tell the difference between Gardner and Robinson sometimes, Mike.
Final minute, third quarter. Here comes Robinson, has some blocks. Denard at the 15. Robinson first down inside the 10 for Michigan.
You know what I like about this Denard Robinson? He's not running like some quarterback. He's cutting it back right into the teeth of the Carolina Gamecock pursuit. Watch him cut this back to his right into the teeth of about 5 Gamecocks. He says, bring it on, SEC. Denard Robinson wants a piece of the Southeastern Conference. He's tired of hearing about their dominance. This is his chance to get one for the Big Ten.
Vincent Smith stands next to Gardner. First and goal, Michigan. Gardner rolling. Throwing, end zone. It is Gallen. It is touchdown, Michigan.
Gardner is saving his best for last. He's been up and down most of the day, but a critical 4th and 1. Quarterback sneak, a critical scramble on 3rd and 5, and then a sprint out to his right. He puts the ball up, and Jeremy Gallen makes a great catch and gets it down for 6. Gonna go for 2 here. They try to make it a 3-point game. Ball's on the left hash. I'll bet you per diem it's a sprint out to the right, Mike.
You don't get per diem. You're 6 miles away this week.
Right.
Sorry.
This week.
Just want to let you know that. It'll be Robinson behind Gardner. We try a little trick play here. That'll be Gardner on that sprint. Got room to run. Pulls it up, flips it forward, and it's intercepted and taken away, but no chance to bring it downfield for Reginald Bowens. And the defensive extra point. So it's 22-21. Michigan's first lead of the day comes with 2 seconds left in the third.
That's what you do in college football. You tell the ref, put it on the left hash. Give me room to sprint to the wide side of the field. Carolina knew it. They blew the coverage initially, but Gardner didn't see it. But a nice drive by the Wolverines, aided by a critical 4th and 1 call by head coach Brady Hoke to go for it. Great ball game.
That's what we've had every year here at the Outback Bowl. Let's hope we get one Thursday night. This was the road to the national championship game. We thought it was going to be Oregon, Kansas State, and then they both went down just like that. But it's a pretty good game coming up at the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl in the desert on Thursday night. Marcus Mariota and his outstanding season. Colin Klein, 3rd in the Heisman voting. Watch ESPN app. If you're not around your TV to watch on ESPN at 8 Eastern, as we said before, all the BCS games on your ESPN radio station as well. I was talking with my friend Frank Beckman, who's a longtime voice of Michigan radio broadcast, and he said, you know, the bowl games don't mean anything because of the playoff system it's ahead of the championship game, but the games have been entertaining and fun. If you stayed up last night for Clemson LSU, you know what we're talking about. And good ones across the country today. Return here by Sanders, bottled up, brought down inside the 20. It'll be a long field for South Carolina when the fourth quarter begins. Off we go to the fourth. Michigan leads for the first time today. Hey, Drew, there's your hero, Barry Alvarez. Just kind of come back and coach a Rose Bowl and head on back to the office as athletic director.
That's the job I want. That's the coaching job I've been looking for. Great coach right there, though.
Wisconsin, Stanford. The Rose Bowl game presented by Vizio coming up next year on ESPN. Our Chevrolet Drive recap. As Michigan went down the field, it was 4th and 1 for the Wolverines. Their own 44, Devin Gardner ran for 19 yards.
Yeah, and then it was a third down scramble play against Shaq Wilson, the Gamecocks leading tackler. He can't make the play, and then it's Denard Robinson on a power play. He cuts it back for a big gain into the red zone, and then Gardner sprints to his right, finds their favorite target, Jeremy Gallen, from Apopka, Florida, and the Wolverines are back in front. You got to credit Al Borges, the offensive coordinator. He's been in the SEC 4 years at Auburn. He knows about winning in that conference. Got to give him credit. Creative game planning today by Al Borges.
See what Connor Shaw and South Carolina's offense can do. 1st and 10 from the 15. Shaw, first look covered. He's taken off, being chased to the sideline. He fires incomplete. Rory Anderson, one of his other big tight ends, was out there hoping to get open.
When the quarterback scrambles, the secondary has to plaster. Plaster to your man. Hold your coverage longer than anticipated. That time, Michigan did a great job maintaining their coverage underneath and down the field. Steve Spurrier looking for the right play. They've been unable to sustain any kind of running game, and Michigan has driven them crazy with some maximum zone coverages. 2- and 3-man rushes here in this third quarter and to start the fourth.
Play clock running down. Shaw takes the snap. Goes over the middle. It's caught to the 25 and a first down for Kenny Miles. Shy of the 30-yard line. Raymond Taylor made the stop for the Wolverines.
You know, Kenny Miles can catch the football out of the backfield. He caught 16 passes. And you have to be able to do this in Steve Spurrier's offense. Come out of the backfield as an outlet and be a resource after the catch. Lattimore had 26 catches before his injury, but normally Spurrier throws the ball to his backs almost 50 times a year. Nice job by Miles.
Miles has caught 3 balls on the season. Shaw keeping up the middle. Connor Shaw brought down after a first down, though. He gained 11 before Thomas Gordon made the tackle.
Zone read. That's the second time Shaw has kept the ball and come out the back end, and no one's there. He's going to stick the ball in Miles' stomach. There go the Michigan Wolverines. They've adjusted their backside blocking. Nice job by offensive line coach Sean Elliott. Instead of reading the end, let's block the end and read the linebacker. And Shaw's taking advantage twice.
It's kind of the joy of having the zone read just as part of your package. Sprinkle it. Defenses can't key on it all the time. You can make plays like that. First down throw. Shaw taking a shot. Downfield. It is underthrown. Intended for Demir Bird, who has a touchdown earlier on. Courtney Avery was in coverage.
Just a straight go route. Balls on that far hash in college football, you have to have a cannon. It's almost like Demir Bird was in a different zip code, Mike. That's why you see a lot of these down the field throws occur when the ball's in the middle of the field. When that ball's on that far hash and you're trying to throw those deep go routes to the wide side, you need a strong arm to get that done.
Dylan Thompson may be a bit better downfield passer than Connor Shaw. 2nd and 10. Here's Shaw throwing it wide side. It stays up there. Nate Sanders is free, and aces the first down. right in front of Courtney Avery at the 41-yard line of Michigan.
Just when I say that, Connor Shaw says, take that, Gruden. Here's a comeback to the wide side. Watch Connor Shaw, a little play-action pass, stride through the throw, great anticipation. Timing is outstanding. That's a big-time throw by Connor Shaw. Not a lot of teams, Mike, excuse me, throw the ball to the field in college football, but Steve Spurrier's always demanded it of his quarterbacks.
You see, first time Michigan's defense has allowed over 200 passing yards in a game this year. Michigan showing pressure as the pass is bubbled out to Nick Jones. Gets forward for about 7 yards. Jordan Kovacs, along with Desmond Morgan in there on the tackle. Jordan Kovacs is one of my favorite stories in this game. One of those guys who defines college football. When Rich Rodriguez was there in Michigan, put an ad up on the website, student body tryouts. Kovacs showed up, made it, but then they flunked him because he had a knee injury from high school. So he waited the whole year. He had told his friends, I made the Michigan team. He was bragging about it, and then he was embarrassed to say they failed me on my physical. Came back the next year, made the team. They just thought he'd be a walk-on, a spare part, maybe special teams. Jordan Kovacs over 300 tackles. One of the best stories as he starts his 46th and final game for Michigan here today. Kenny Miles on the run. A first down to the 29-yard line. About 3 minutes into this fourth quarter. Good-looking drive for the Gamecocks.
This time for this South Carolina offensive line to step up and take control of a football game. They are talented, led by T.J. Johnson in the middle, the center, over 50 consecutive starts. Young on the offensive tackle. You see Robinson, number 53, Shell, number 71, two first-year players. But the anchor of this offensive line, T.J. Johnson, wants to deliver right now for the Gamecocks.
Longest sustained drive of this game for South Carolina as Shaw throws incomplete. He had an opportunity to find his tight end Rory Anderson, but they miscommunicated.
And Robinson, pass receiving threat, is wide open. I thought Corey Robinson, the left tackle, got away with a hold right there, but Connor Shaw, not quite sure if Robinson's going to stay on the move or sit down. Gamecocks got to hurry.
Good personnel infusion here as they adjust and switch. They block down to 2. Pressure coming, screen behind it. Look out, Mike Davis couldn't break away at the 25. It was a big tackle. Gordon, the safety, was a part of it. Joe Bolden finished it up. It'll be third down at about a 5.
It's about the 7th different kind of blitz I've seen from Greg Madison today. That time it's up the gut pressure, and they trust Gordon's open field tackling ability. But Steve Spurrier on a third down is 6.
Showing that pressure up the middle.
Shaw sees it. He has the audible he wants.
Under the pressure, he audible to this run to the left, and Michigan was ready for it on the end. Craig Rowe and Jake Ryan.
Greg Rowe started 51 straight games, more than any Michigan Wolverine ever, Mike. And he's ready for it. It's a double-A gap blitz. They're going to run a speed option to the weak side. And how about that redirection by Rowe? In his last game as a Michigan Wolverine, he started more games than John Jansen, any of these Wolverines in his storied program. Great play by the senior.
Big field goal for the lead. Adam Yates, who missed one earlier, get it from 42 yards. His miss was from 33. Yates got it blocked. Kick is blocked and picked up by South Carolina, but Michigan's special teams come through with a big play. The head ball coach hates kicking field goals. He's so proud they've only attempted 26 in the last 2 years. As they get down to this area, they're usually very good finishing the deal. But a missed field goal earlier, and this time a blocked field goal keeps Michigan on top. About 4 minutes into the fourth quarter. Brady Hoke pretty fired up by the effort from Quentin Washington inside.
WatchESPN.com or download the Watch ESPN app to watch ESPN live anytime, anywhere. Brought to you by Vizio.
Back here at the Outback Bowl, getting set for the Rose Bowl game presented by Vizio. Across the country, we'll send you to Pasadena as Brett Musburger and Kirk Herbstreit bring you Wisconsin against Stanford. What a job that Stanford has done. Their third straight BCS game. David Shaw taking them to the last two. Deserves a lot of the credit for the success of the Cardinal. Coming up next year on ESPN. Under 5 minutes gone by, just over 5, I should say, in this fourth quarter. Michigan leads by 1. They've just blocked a South Carolina field goal. Gardner first down. Brought down. Kelsey Quarles. As the Gamecock defense now has to respond.
Kelsey Quarles, another interior lineman that has pass rush ability. That time they jump into the Bear defense. They create some one-on-ones up front. Quarles wins. 2 new inside linebackers. 24, Quinn Smith is checked into the game. You see Jeffrey, number 33. Some fresh legs in there at crunch time for the Gamecocks.
And they're both seniors, too, so you're bringing experience off that bench. 5 senior good linebackers for South Carolina. Direct snap to Denard Robinson. To the 37-yard line goes Robinson. It'll be third about 4 for Michigan.
Design runs. When Denard Robinson comes in the game, you have to change your entire defense. And you have to call on veteran perimeter players to make one-on-one tackles. That time Swearinger comes from his deep safety position, makes a great open field tackle. But again, third down and a long 3.
What will Clowney do? The man who's seen by many evaluators as the best player in college football. The sophomore, best defensive end, won the Hendricks Award. Can he make a play here on 3rd and 4? He's dropping back in coverage, and the slant is incomplete. It was intended for Gallen, the coverage from Victor Hampton. Credit the South Carolina defense.
Boy, teams love the motion to a trips formation and create one-on-one. Gallen against Victor Hampton on a slant route. I think the quarterback needs to sink on his back foot. Gardner's got to hold it just slightly longer and give Gallen time to win at the line of scrimmage. Unfortunate. Great release by Jeremy Gallen.
Matt Weil, who's made a big field goal, also has 2 50-plus yard punts, but one of them was taken back. 63 yards by Asaph. Michigan goes trickeration here, trying to get the 3rd and short on the toss, and they get to the line, and the mark will depend on it. Floyd Simmons was the upback who took the pitch. Very close to a first down, so Michigan throwing everything in special team surprises here. It'll depend on the mark. That side is where the chains are. So that mark will be the one that they'll come out and see if it's first down or it's South Carolina ball. Great field position, which is what I think it is.
Gutty call on 4th and a long 3 from your own 35. I think he's got it.
No, just short. South Carolina will take. Oh, whoa! First down. Oh, look at Spurrier and the South Carolina folks. They can't believe it, and I don't blame them. What is he looking at?
They want another measurement.
Steve's trying to bring everybody under the sun over there for another look. He's trying to bring Jeff McConaughey over back for another look. South Carolina first going to challenge here. They go back and challenge the spot as they took a timeout. They can get another look via replay for the challenge. Just trying to help them on the spot. Wasn't a first down. It's the first time measurement's been replayed. Look at the ball coach. So they're going to challenge the spot, not the stretch of the chain. Going to go back and challenge the spot.
It's a game of inches, Mike.
First day of the year, already I've seen something I've never seen before in a football game. Okay, is that a first down or no? Most everyone who I've ever met would say that's not a first down. The official, Jeff McConaughey, said it is a first down. And when he did, watch Steve Spurrier come in from the right of your picture and go bananas. And rightfully so, and so did all the South Carolina players. So then South Carolina challenged the spot, which they can do via timeout. They did that, and as it was reviewed, they said the call stands, not confirmed, not indisputable visual evidence. Where's the forward point of the ball when the hip of the Michigan runner comes down? Floyd Simmons, the radio's like, can you believe what just happened?
What you have to do if you're South Carolina is somehow get over it quickly, get your head back in the game. A lot of football left to be played. Great time to take a shot right now if you're Michigan. But you'd have to learn to forget about it when it doesn't go your own way and finish.
Wow. Michigan at the 41. What a hit! Ball's free on the ground. South Carolina deserves to have it, and they do.
Clowney just says, I'll take care of business right here. You give me this long to catch my breath, I'll come off the ball and rock you and get it right back for our offense. It's a power play off the left side, and Clowney ignites himself into the Michigan backfield. How about that quickness and get off? Then he scoops it up with his left hand. He wanted to run with it. Not many guys I've ever seen can get off the ball and rock people like Clowney.
What a play by the man, as we've said, who's touted as the best player in the country.
He's a Heisman Trophy candidate for sure next year. I don't know where he finished this year, but he would have had my vote if I had one.
Is upstairs going to call down to check on this play? Let's see. Okay, so I believe they've stopped the play to check it via review. Also checking if there's a fumble here, where the ball is. Going to take this look as we step out. Vincent Smith took the hit after he got the ball. The ball came down and out. Covered apparently by South Carolina.
ESPN College Football, the Outback Bowl, is brought to you by Ram Trucks, Guts, Glory, Ram, and the United States Marine Corps, the few, the proud, the Marines.
Review takes place, and review says the ball was out. And no issues with it. It is a football that belongs to South Carolina.
Well, you're going to make some mistakes in the course of a football game, but don't make a mistake against Jadeveon Clowney. He'll ruin your day.
First down, South Carolina. Taking a shot to Ace Sanders in the end zone. Ace! Does he have it? They say touchdown!
The ball coach. Sudden change, he goes deep. And Connor Shaw finds Ace Sanders. See if he got him in.
He juggled, and then when he got his hands back on the ball, one foot is down, and then goes down and apparently hangs on all the way to the wall. There's the juggle, but there are the hands back on right there. That's close. He brings down that right foot, and that may be good enough. The left foot, I don't know if you could have upheld it. The right foot coming down may give it to him. What a play.
What a play is right.
I think it's touchdown.
Third touchdown today for Ace Sanders. We'll see if it stands, but there was
Conduct. Offense number 1. The pulling on the field of a touchdown is under further review. Timeout.
So first to look real speed. You try to determine when he has possession of the ball. As Connor Shaw throws it up to him.
possession right there at the very end. And 1 foot down. Tremendous concentration.
That is a tough call. It's one of the reasons they want to look at it live, because in slow motion so many things can appear slightly different. And the replay official Roy Reynolds, who's had a busy last few minutes, taking a look at this, and he'll give the decision down to Jeff McConaughey, the referee from the Big East.
A lot of replays here. Had a spot foul challenged, Clowney's fumble play, and now this. Thank goodness for instant replay, Mike.
You are a new man in 2013, if you're saying that. What a catch by Sanders, too. As you said, going to be his 3rd touchdown. The replay booth is asking for another real speed look at it. And the best I can tell is he went to the wall as he was hit by Raymond Taylor, is that he was able to hold on to the ball as he's going to the ground and making the catch. I think that very last touch at the end, securing it and the right foot down, would be the one that would give it to him as a touchdown.
I don't know how you overturn that.
Well, justice was certainly done, at least from what it looked like on the spot and the measurement on the South Carolina 4th down, losing the ball.
After further review, ruling on the field stands. Touchdown. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 1 on the offense, that penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
So Ace Sanders gets his 3rd touchdown of this Outback Bowl, and South Carolina will go for 2 to try to make it a 7-point game.
Go to your best players in key situations and you say, hey, make a play. Clowney made one on the defensive side, and Shaw finds Ace Sanders for the 3rd time, or the 2nd time today, and Ace is making a name for himself today, Mike.
Jarrell Adams, the huge targeted tight end. He's got Sanders next to him up at the top. They bring 2 to the bottom, going for 2, trying to take a 7-point lead. Michigan pressures. Shaw over the top to the tight end. And Adams couldn't hang on. So it remains 27-22. South Carolina got truly the short end of the deal on that measurement. But Jadeveon Clowney said, let's take care of that. Incredible play. Picked it up like it was a little Nerf ball. And then watch Ace Sanders give South Carolina the lead. 40 years ago in that stadium, Stanford last won a Rose Bowl. They beat Michigan 13-12, 99th Rose Bowl game. Presented by Vizio. Our coverage begins as soon as we're done here in Tampa at the Outback Bowl. Time for our Pacific Life Game Summer. There has been no shortage of excitement in this one. South Carolina jumped out to a 14-3 lead. They scored a minute and a half into the game. Connor Shaw's thrown for 293 and 2 touchdowns. Devin Gardner and Michigan's offense has been better here in the second half. Ace Sanders' 3rd touchdown of the game. Tremendous catch, a 31-yarder to take the lead. But now, John, Sanders' end of the play reaction will hurt South Carolina a bit.
You have to kick off from your own 20 to a man like Dennis Norfleet of Michigan. Be very careful. Norfleet has been a problem for a lot of people in the Big Ten. He looks like he's having fun.
Yes.
5'6", 5'7".
Freshman out of Martin Luther King High School in downtown Detroit. Kick it away from Norfleet to the other side. Dillio's been hanging out most of this game. Dillio brings it to the 36. So Shannon, Jadeveon Clowney and the defense head back out on the field.
Hey, Mike, John, I wish you guys could have been down here on the field with me when Clowney made that huge hit. Half the players on the sideline for South Carolina were cheering. The other half, they had their mouths wide open. They couldn't believe what they just saw. And, of course, when Clowney came off the field, the entire crowd, all of the fans, just started chanting his name.
We'll get to see him one more year in Columbia because he came in and played as a true freshman, only 2 years in college. So Although lauded by many as the best individual player in the sport, he has to play 3 years in college, so he comes back next year. Devin Gardner in Michigan try to reply. Now down 5 with 8 to go. Gardner has time, and his throw's on time, complete. Right at the sticks, Jeremy Gallen.
Man, is he quick. Jeremy Gallen, he can get out of his break at full speed. Better than most NC2A wide receivers I've seen. Nice job at the top of his route. And they continue to throw the ball into the short side of the field to Jeremy Gallen. 7 catches, 110 yards.
47 now on the season for the junior. Second and short. Chuck it out there to Denard Robinson, and Robinson doesn't get it. At least it appears that way. I should hold up on those statements.
He felt Denard Robinson on that swing the whole way. He just leverages the play. He does an excellent job holding his ground, holding the point, and wait for his fellow teammate DJ Swearinger to cap it off. But great awareness to go with outstanding ability. He's a surefire, can't miss.
3rd and 1. Vincent Smith is the back. South Carolina packed in there tightly. Gardner going to try to keep it. No surge. Didn't move forward. Only at the end does he move forward.
I don't think they're going to get this spot, Mike.
Let's see. The line judge on the near side is walking in a different spot. There was no whistle blown for forward progress. Then the pile moved ahead.
South Carolina coaches over there saying, don't give him this spot.
There'll be another measurement. I'm surprised Jeff McConaughey, the referee, didn't at least get down on the ground to look at that other spot before. Just take out a card out of your pocket, which I've seen way back in the day, between the nose of the ball and the front of the marker. Talked to some of Steve Spurrier's old defensive coordinators in the past, thinking back to the days when Steve was at Florida, and he's got that play sheet. I got some ball plays. Just get me the ball back. And one time, what happened? When they gave up a touchdown, the defensive coordinator walked down and said, "Coach, I got you the ball back." Turns out he went down the field with a ball play and scored to win a Florida State game many years ago. 1st and 10 for the 47. Gardner over the middle. It's caught. It's down inside the 40 to the 37-yard line. Gallen again, his 8th catch. Robert Flores with an update in the studio.
All right, Mike, checking in on Georgia and Nebraska. Aaron Murray had a couple of interceptions early in this game, but he cooks up here for a long touchdown pass. Georgia rolling 45-31 on Nebraska in the Capital One Bowl.
In quite a game for Murray from here in Tampa, Florida. 397 yards and 5 touchdowns against Nebraska today, Robert. Thanks for the update. 1st and 10, Denard taking the snap out of that pistol look with 3 backs, and Robinson gets to the sideline and out of bounds with 5:47 to go.
I don't know how they practice all these plays. They have a unique package for Jeremy Gallen, and here's the Redskin full house pistol. And Denard Robinson is going to keep it to his right, and all 3 of these backs are going to escort him to the edge. It's a design keeper. They bring the backside guard, about as many Michigan Wolverine escorts as possible.
5.5 left. Gardner, short shot complete for the 1st down. Roundtree with the catch. The 5th-year senior plays his final game in the Michigan uniform. 7th all-time in receiving yards and receptions in his career in Ann Arbor.
And another 1st down, and interesting to see what Lorenzo Ward, the defensive coordinator of South Carolina, has in store as Michigan knocks on the door of the red zone. This has been a blitz situation for the Gamecocks most of this afternoon.
in with 3 tight ends, and Robinson is the back. And Denard's got space. Robinson in his final Michigan game has a first down, and the Wolverines are in the red zone with 5 minutes to go, and Michigan has been out of sight in the red zone thus far today.
Well, when you blitz the strong side, when you're going to bring linebackers to one side, you better shut gaps down on the backside. And you see how strong Denard Robinson is. He runs right through DJ Swearinger. That time the blitz backfired. Michigan had the right play called, and Denard Robinson continues to run hot.
UPS efficiency update. Michigan, 4 trips to the red zone, 4 scores. They need a touchdown to take the lead here. After the gain of 11. Big hit in the backfield again. It is Clowney on Robinson.
Well, Taylor Lewan, he's got to do better than that. Sprint draw right at Jadeveon Clowney, and he beats Lewan like a drum.
Wow.
Great hand usage, good get off. He's an impact tackler, don't you think, Mike? I can feel those up here. My bones hurt.
He is special. And we've seen it all year, but dialing it up when it mattered most, like he did against Clemson with 4.5 sacks. 2 big tackles for loss here. 1 caused a fumble that led South Carolina the go-ahead touchdown. 2nd and 13. Gardner throws incomplete, looking for Gallen. Jimmy LeGree over there in coverage.
Well, you have to prepare for the blitz if you're Michigan. Now it's 3rd down and 13 with 3:34 left. You have to contemplate 4-down territory if you can get a gain of 8 to 10 yards, Mike, with this type of system that Michigan runs. But right hash, expect a sprint out pass to the left where Gardner can use his legs.
He's got Gardner, or rather Gallen and Roundtree over there. 3rd and 13. Gardner with a fire to the end zone. Touchdown, Michigan! Jeremy Gallen!
Post pattern. Unbelievable throw. And Jeremy Gallen on a beautiful double post combination has shredded South Carolina today. That time it's LeGree who's in one-on-one coverage. But Devin Gardner has made some big-time plays on 3rd down in his second half.
Wolverines will go for 2. Try to extend the lead to 3.
A little different personnel this time for Michigan. This is a significant play.
Direct snap is going to come to Denard Robinson. He's got Vincent Smith next to him. The quarterback Gardner's lined up at wide receiver.
Look at all these Gamecocks. That's about as heavy a front as I've seen. They're automatic into a blitz.
Just everything on the edge. Man coverage. Smith in motion. Option. Here is Smith. Tough yards in there in South Carolina. All over it. Devin Taylor with the stop. 28-27 with 3:29 to go.
Well, it's an unbalanced line. A.J. Williams, the freshman tight end, is in the game. They clear out the safety with the slot receiver, and Jeremy Gallen goes to work against Jimmy LeGree on the outside, and the ball is thrown perfectly. Double post. It's a common red zone combination. You see the little shake move at the top, and Jeremy Gallen, he's run double moves, timing patterns. He's been good after the catch. For him to come back to the state of Florida where he grew up in Apopka and deliver like this, good for him. This is a heck of a secondary that he's going after.
It's been a pretty good game. 2 great schools played football for over a century. I know you grew up in the Midwest. You grew up watching Michigan football teams over the years. It's the 133rd Michigan football team.
Every time I hear that fight song, you get goosebumps.
You like it, huh?
I sure do. I like all these fight songs.
3:29 to go. Weil with the kickoff. It'll be a short kick. So Auguste, well, it won't be Auguste this time. It'll be brought up the sideline instead by Joshua Luke. Check that, third time. Sidney Rhodes will get it right. Sidney Rhodes, the return just to the 30-yard line. Well, what about Northern Illinois? Will Jordan Lynch and the MAC champs show up for the little guy, show up for the underdog? Will Florida State be ready for it? Discover Orange Bowl tonight, 8:30 Eastern. As that's game 2 of the Bowl Championship Series. Game 1 is coming up next. It's the Rose Bowl game presented by Vizio. Wisconsin and Stanford now on that great floor of the Rose Bowl Stadium. And Monty Ball ready for action. Brent Musburger, Kirk Herbstreit standing by. Our coverage begins as soon as we're done here. But a lot more to go. 3:23 left. South Carolina, 2 timeouts. And Shaw completes it to Ellington. Tackled quickly by Jake Ryan.
Plenty of time. But again, it's Michigan's 3-man rush and maximum zone coverage. Somebody in this Wolverine front as a pass rusher needs to deliver. Frank Clark, number 57, I think is their best pass rusher. You see him at the bottom of the screen. One of these Michigan Wolverines has to get after Connor Shaw.
Kenny Miles, the back. That was Ellington's first catch of the day, by the way, John. He led this team in receptions this year. Pressure comes. Shaw stepping up. Nowhere to go. Step into a sack. Bent backwards by Jake Ryan, the defensive playmaker for the Wolverines.
They lure you to sleep. 3-man rush, 3-man rush. Then it's going to be a boundary blitz, and they overload you, and you're one short, and down goes your quarterback. But it's been a great combination of maximum zone and spontaneous blitzes that have helped Michigan get back in this football game.
2:14, 2 timeouts, clock running. Is this 4-down territory, South Carolina?
I believe it is.
Third and 10, Rory Anderson, the tight end, loads the formation left. Shaw looking that way, throwing that way. Got his tight end, but he didn't catch it. Let's see, it's ruled a catch by the line judge. Now the umpire's running over. I don't know if they're going to keep this complete or not. Let's see. Conversation. Line judge, field judge, umpire. They say it's a catch. The clock's still running.
Ruling on the field is a catch. Forward progress, and the runner's knee was down. 4th down.
And the clock's still spinning. The play clock's moving as well. Wonder if upstairs will buzz down to take a look at this.
Ruling on the field of a completed catch. We're going to further review.
Well, 17 seconds ran off.
Yep.
I didn't think there was any way this was a complete catch. Looks like it, from that review, it looked like it was a catch. He was down. He goes right down on his bottom. He's got the catch secure, and then the ball's punched out. That's a catch.
Briefly, but clearly, once his butt hits the ground there, it's the act of the catch is done. But as we said, it's 4th down and 3.
And I think that's the issue with Steve Spurrier right now as he huddles with his Carolina Gamecocks. Ball's on the left hash. It's 4th down and 3. I'm sure he's getting the information from his coaches up in the press box.
We remind everybody.
After further review, ruling on the field is confirmed. Completed catch. 4th down.
So it'll be 4th and 3. It's 4:30. So a reminder, all of you tuning in for the Rose Bowl pregame presented by Vizio. That is over on ESPN2. So the pregame show, the Vizio pregame show is underway on ESPN2. And we'll join everybody out in Pasadena as soon as we're done here. 4th and 3. South Carolina has 2 timeouts left. Michigan 3.
Trips to the field. Let's see what this call is.
That's good. Now we got referees who have become like play callers. They're covering their mouths so we can't tell what they're talking about. Nobody's trying to steal your signals.
A lot of great replay challenges here in the second half of this game.
I think they're trying to check the time on the game clock here. There should be a little more time left. We'll put a few more seconds on the game clock to 1:30. It is 4th and 3. South Carolina. Connor Shaw, the quarterback. 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Needing to get to the 40 to keep it going. Michigan brings pressure. Shaw throws. It is caught. Ace Sanders first down. Who else at the 43-yard line?
Gutty call. Blitz, all-out blitz by Michigan. You play one-on-one coverage, and guess who they go to? Ace Sanders against the safety, and Gordon's no match.
Sanders and Nick Jones near side. Ellington to the top. Final minute of this Outback Bowl. As Shaw, nowhere to go. Wrapped up. Try to throw it away. Sanders able to catch it at midfield. The clock runs. South Carolina should take a timeout. And they do at 51.
South Carolina is charged with their second timeout of the half.
A couple of seconds on the clock there. Spurgeon was getting it on the far side. And I think the official from that side is going to tell the referee to reset the game clock.
Please reset the game clock to 52 seconds.
Good job.
5-2 on the game clock.
Credit to the side judge, Mark Wyndham, for getting that right. It's been a pretty good game.
I'll tell you what, the biggest concern I have if I'm South Carolina is, what if I have to kick a field goal to win this game? It's one thing Steve Spurrier told us yesterday. We don't kick a lot of field goals. We score touchdowns in the red zone. Well, you know what? They've had one field goal blocked, and they clearly missed one bad earlier in the ball game. They're 0 for 2. I don't know exactly where they need to get this ball to get it in range, but I don't care where they get it. They have to be uncomfortable if they have to kick a field goal to win it.
Saw the earlier struggles of Adam Yates, who was 11 of 15 this year and made a 51-yarder against the Gators. South Carolina down to one timeout. Remember, they lost one earlier today when they challenged that spot just in Michigan territory. 52 seconds left. Shaw's pressured. Shaw's in trouble. Spun around. Shaw alive. Sanders got it. First down. Ace Sanders at the 43-yard line. Jabril Black was so close to a sack. Limping. Gimpy is Shaw. Sanders is hurt.
Corey Robinson, the left tackle, gets beaten badly, and all Jabril Black has to do is open up his present. He's got Shaw for a clear sack. He just can't finish the play, and he does an excellent job finding Ace Sanders for a catch and run.
Sanders, who's caught the last 3. That's what you were talking about, John. For all the world, it looked like the junior from Cincinnati had his 3rd sack. But Sanders has been so huge offensively in this game and in this series. And as they look at Sanders, Shaw also in discomfort on the sideline.
Can't say enough about Connor Shaw today. He's run for 96 yards. He's thrown for I don't know how many yards.
And Dylan Thompson, the other quarterback, is in the game right now. There's Sanders sitting up. But Dylan Thompson, who threw a touchdown to Ace Sanders earlier today and also hit a big play down the seam. Connor Shaw limping around. Comes over the sideline, as does Ace Sanders. So here's Thompson, the sophomore out of Bowling Springs. He said, you know, anytime he'd go around, it was, boy, you're a South Carolina quarterback. Now it's you won the Clemson game. What a big deal that is.
No back set.
Maybe 7 seconds left. It's Thompson now throwing sideline complete to the 40-yard line to Kenny Miles.
Michigan just does not have a pure pass rusher. They've had to use the blitz to get the pressure they need. Black, number 55 at the bottom of the screen. Somebody in the, whatever you call it, maize and blue, Mike, has to step up right here and rush the passer.
Two receivers left to right. Dylan Thompson off the bench. Scrambling. In trouble. Thompson keeps it alive. Gets to the sideline. Gets out of bounds. At the 40-yard line. Maybe just inside of it. It's 26 seconds left. With 3rd and about 7 to go.
Well, Michigan fans have to be losing it. That time James Ross has a chance for a wrap tackle. They just haven't been able to finish. And right now on 3rd down with this ball on the left hash, they expect Dylan Thompson to look for his big tight end, number 87, Justice Cunningham. They love these seam balls to the wide side of the field.
Pressure on. Thompson hangs in there, throws underneath. Demir Bird has it. Bird's got a first down at the 32. 21 seconds left.
Quick
19
screen.
as they stop it.
They're going to clock it.
They do with 17 seconds left. Again, as John mentioned, Yates has missed 2 field goals today. From 33, he was wide. From 42, he got blocked. Connor Shaw, who gutted it out through a lot of pain in this game, cannot finish his drive. Him nuts. Can't be on the field for this closing drive that he had the first half of.
And I'm expecting Michigan to blitz, to try to knock Carolina out of field goal position.
This is hard on Dylan Thompson, Shaw's replacement. You're coming in the middle of a bowl-winning, potential game-ending drive. Well, it's a good thing he played earlier. Michigan rushes 4. Here's the pressure. Thompson got hit as he throws open. Complete. Touchdown, Ellington!
Unbelievable. A zone blitz. They don't pick it up. And Dylan Thompson ends Michigan's day anyway. What a great throw. How tough are these South Carolina quarterbacks? Thompson, he's limping off the field. But when you blitz, you still have to play coverage in the back end, and Michigan has failed to do that in some critical situations today. What a throw by Dylan Thompson.
South Carolina will take its final timeout to set up for the 2-point conversion, trying to go up 7. Bruce Ellington with the touchdown.
It's a blitz at the bottom of the screen. They drop the defensive end. It's a zone blitz. Nobody's in the middle of the field. They blow the coverage, and Dylan Thompson stands in the pocket and makes a great throw. Ellington has the easiest touchdown he's had all year, but if you watch Dylan Thompson in the pocket, it's his ability to stand in the face of pressure and make a great delivery.
It happened 6 times on that drive. That time was Ryan coming straight at his face, taking the shots on the blitz from Ross. Thompson took the hit. Shaw in pain, limps down the sideline.
It's like tag team wrestling. You go as long as you can and reach out of the ring and get your teammate. And Dylan Thompson just jumped into the ring for Carolina and finished Michigan.
4th lead change in the last 14:51. Now South Carolina goes for 2. Dylan Thompson looking, throwing for Ellington again. Ellington doesn't get it. He was challenged by Courtney Avery, and a flag is called on South Carolina for offensive pass interference.
Offense, number 23. Penalties declined. Extra point is no good.
Decline that penalty. Extra point's no good. It's a 5-point game. Just a quick thought on Ellington, who made that play. Ellington, as we mentioned before, and South Carolina fans, you know this, he's the point guard of the South Carolina basketball team. Frank Martin, who was the coach of Kansas State, now the South Carolina coach. John and I were both talking to him before the game. He said, we have practice tomorrow, a quick run in the morning, then in the afternoon at 3. He said Ellington will be there. He'll practice. That's the way he is. That's the kind of player and individual he's been. And he's been so good for those 2 quarterbacks and has what could be the game-winning touchdown.
The only thing Michigan can do now is have a desperation return. I know they have something in their game plan where they can get a desperation return of some kind. However, if Carolina squibs the ball, fall on it immediately. Do not waste a second and give Gardner a chance to create with his arm. But if this ball is kicked down the field, there's going to be some kind of a desperation return.
And the desperation play Michigan works on, trust me, the last Michigan game I did was December 28 of 05. It was the Alamo Bowl. The score was almost the same. It was 32-28 Nebraska over Michigan, and Michigan threw 11 laterals back and forth down the field and almost scored a touchdown as players from both teams were on the field. So it's definitely been part of Michigan's preparation throughout the years. We'll see how the South Carolina team kicks it, who gets their hands on it. Norfleet's been desperate to get the ball in his hands all day. Adam Yates with the kick. Little bounce, it's picked up. Trying to get the most out of it here is Gowan. He'll just get out of bounds at the 32-yard line with 7 seconds left. Our Capital One player of the game is Jadeveon Clowney. After it went against South Carolina on a measurement that looked to be an incorrect call, Clowney forced a fumble, turned the game around, and he's just been as good as advertised.
Yes, he has. And be a great time for Clowney to take the game into his own hands right here.
7 seconds left. South Carolina has 4 players, now 5, lined up on the other side of midfield. See if Michigan takes some yards early and then tries to stop the clock. Kevin Gardner stepping up. This will be the game's final play. Gardner had the ball knocked out of his hand as he threw. It falls incomplete, and South Carolina has back-to-back 11-win seasons for the first time in school history. And the head ball coach beats Michigan the first time he's ever played the Wolverines. Not a great win for South Carolina. Michigan's season ends 8-5. Most of its losses to top 10 teams. 4 as a matter of fact. Here's Shannon with Steve Spurrier.
I'm sure Gatorade never felt so good right now, Coach. 11-win season, and you beat Michigan, a team you've never played before. What does this mean to you?
Well, we're fired up for the players. We haven't won like this since I've been in South Carolina. I hadn't won many like this where we score with 11 seconds. But give Dylan and Connor and Ace and Bruce, all those guys, they made a bunch of plays, and our defense hung in there and held them to 28, which was pretty good.
You challenged that first down call by the refs. What statement did they make?
Said it looked like he gave him a gracious spot, and it also, the ball wasn't touching. But you can't do anything about it. Just live with it.
What statement do your players make?
Clowney knocked it loose the next play, so I'm glad they made it.
Congratulations, Coach.
Thank you, Shannon.
All right, Shannon, thank you. 4 lead changes in the final 15 minutes. John, once again, the Outback Bowl has delivered another terrific finish.
I'm going to the Outback. Ace Sanders, you have to give him credit as well. The punt return, 2 touchdown receptions. Carolina leaned on a lot of different Gamecocks today. Jadeveon Clowney, the impact fumble.
And some big 4th down conversions that did not happen and did happen as well. As South Carolina heads to the season with a top 10 ranking and back-to-back 11-win seasons. And Denard Robinson's tremendous Michigan career comes to an end with a loss. Our final score here from Tampa, South Carolina 33, Michigan 28. Hope the next 364 days of games are just as good as this one. With John Gruden, Shannon Spake, and the women and men of our ESPN team, Mike Tirico. So long from Tampa. We're just getting started. 2 more games to go. Now, the Rose Bowl pregame presented by Vizio.
And now we welcome those of you on ESPN to Pasadena as we